Hey, War of the Vision fans, this is Nash Taters. Welcome to another streaming session and happy Chinese Lunar New Year's to everybody. So obviously, let me go ahead and explain my situation. There was no videos made today because I wasn't home, right? I wasn't home today, so I couldn't make any videos. But we're gonna be doing Chinese New Year stream tonight, and then we're gonna do Friday Free Thinking live. So I think that makes up for good interaction with the community, with the players, and I think it makes more sense this way because obviously I wasn't able to sit down and record a video today. And sometimes that's just how life goes, right? Sometimes you gotta do things and not necessarily prioritize, but you gotta just kind of do things to do things. Hey Zen, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Happy Chinese New Year's to you. Okay, so the plan tonight is we're gonna do little baby summons and we're gonna do some guild wars. We're gonna do a live Friday Free Thinking chatting of essentially how I feel about the raid. I wanna kind of get the feelings from the community and see what people feel the improvements are for the raid and perhaps going forward, if it's going to be something that can still keep people's attention, right? For me, like this week, I've been kind of pretty laid back in terms of playing the raid. I feel like the raid has never been something that I truly enjoyed per se. And I think the accessories and gear and equipments and whatever that you earn from it sometimes don't justify the fact that I'm spending so much time on it. I'm going to show you guys what my progress is. And I'm going to discuss a little bit about how I feel about the raid progression in terms of what the companies have done to improve this element of the game. And hopefully we'll see how it's going to be going forward in the future. 新年快乐 Kenzen, 新年快乐 to you as well. 恭喜发财，恭喜发财. So as you can see, I actually got a haircut, and then I found out today that apparently in Chinese superstition, actually let me turn on my light. I had to reboot my computer. That's why I'm a little late, guys. I apologize. I'm a little late for the Chinese New Year. I always say Chinese New Year's, but I was a little late with the Lunar Chinese New Year stream. And for those of you that joined, I apologize. I didn't put up a video today because I wasn't home all day. I was out running a lot of errands and making sure I got things done in terms of, you know, with the family and the friends and everything. So that I do apologize. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that we're doing Friday Free Thinking live essentially tonight. At least those folks who still want to watch the video at least can catch part of it and what the topic conversation is going to be. Hey Lewis, long time no see. Happy Lunar New Year to you. So let's get it started. Okay, so as you guys see, I got a haircut, and then I found out when I was cooking dinner that apparently in the Chinese superstitions, like it's not good to cut your hair on Chinese New Year. I never knew this. You know, if I had known, I probably wouldn't have done it. But since I didn't know, I think I get a free pass, technically speaking. But it is what it is, right? And hopefully, you know, most of the time I don't really believe in superstition, you know, so it is what it is. Let's take a look at first off what I need to do to summon. I didn't know this was cumulative. I wish I had known this, right? If I had known this was all cumulative, then I would have done it all tonight instead of summoning earlier in the week. But that's okay, right? That's okay. So as you can see, we got a bunch of tickets. I'm debating if I want to pop these off. Let's see if we can get Sakura from here. If we can get Sakura from here, then I'll pop it. If I can't, then I'm not doing it. Sakura is there. Ooh, boys and girls. Boys and girls. I think we're going to pop these off, right? Because I already got Niv. I have every unit in this game, I think, now. I think I have almost every unit. Let's just take a look what unit I'm missing. Yes, I have every single unit in the game. I just need Sakura and I'll be a happy man. I'm gonna pop some of these fortune cookies. Oh man, that'd be so good. This is so good. But it looks good on you, man. This one is so good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I did feel like that long hair was just getting a little overbearing, and I tell you, I feel a lot cooler now that I got the haircut. I thought I should have gone a little bit thinner on the side, but it's okay. We're gonna try to get Sakura. That'd be great if we can get it. I got Sakura in the 5-yard pool. Oh man, you are lucky, Lewis. You are quite lucky. I pulled and got Engelbert and Fred ×2, both max. I'm sorry to hear that, quiet chatter. I apologize. But welcome to the stream and Happy New Year to you. Hey, listen. You might as well get your luck out of the way, quiet, right? If you got that luck out of the way now, maybe during the 1-year anniversary, boom, you're gonna get all the goodies. And by the way, Diggs have already trying to start to get the content creator community together, and I think I'm gonna join his stream. I'm not sure like when he's gonna do it, but you know, we still got a couple of months ahead. But just as a heads up, we are gonna be doing some chatting and discussion and kind of do like a 1-year anniversary. There's going to be surprises. Okay, so I've heard that it's going to be like not celebrities per se, but there are going to be people that are going to show up on the stream that you guys might find it to be very surprising and pleasantly surprised, I guess is the word. So I think I'm a little excited about that. I think big 1-year anniversary on Global is great because we have a pretty good community here overall. And there's a lot of good content creators now, right? Like a lot of people are stepping up their game in terms of content creation. And hopefully we're gonna get some nice discussion panels going on for that. So that's something to look forward to. So we're gonna do some summons in a little bit, but I think we're gonna do Friday Free Thinking in terms of what do you guys think of the raid, okay? So as more people trickle in, because like that's the thing with my stream, I don't think, even when I advertise my stream, right, I noticed that folks still trickle in around maybe say 11 p.m. Eastern time, 12 Eastern time. It's so hard to judge where my peak of the viewership is. So, you know, it's like there's a possibility I might actually start doing Twitch, because I know some people prefer YouTube and some people prefer Twitch. So I was thinking maybe I just do like, I don't know, try to do them throughout the week or something. Try to get it in, right? Try to get it in. Yes, I guess it's pre-Valentine's Day as well. Well, the thing is, hey Panketeer, happy Lunar Chinese New Year to you. So I'm wearing red because in Chinese New Year, we like to wear red, right? And then of course, Valentine is red. So this year is like lying perfectly, everything's together. By the way, I work on Valentine's Day. So hopefully me and the missus will get to celebrate a little bit tomorrow. I got some plans for that, so you know, hopefully that all works out. Okay, let's talk about the raid a little bit. That's going to be the Friday thinking topic. How far along we have come with raid and some of the new changes. I feel like it's going to be a step in the right direction, but not necessarily making raid still a better experience. Okay, so here's where I am. I'm on level 62. As you can see, I'm starting to already use my little orbs. My issue is I simply do not have the units to crush this raid, okay? I was told that I should have been farming Frederica from the Friendship mock shop, right? I didn't do that, like a dumbass, I didn't do it. So unfortunately, my Frederica is pretty weak. I just got Niv, right? And so she's really weak. And essentially the only other gunner I have is, at this point in time, just Lucia. In fact, I don't even have Venera built because you guys who've been following me know that I didn't even get Venera until much later. And so essentially this raid is a big Achilles heel for me that I cannot defeat. And I can defeat it. I probably can get to level 100, but to be honest, I'm not sweating it. It doesn't really bother me if I don't do as well as I usually want to. Because I think I can get to like 250,000 usually, like still doing like somewhat casually. Like there will be a couple of days maybe I'll go really hard, but most of the time very laid back playing and just kind of like watch YouTube, watch TV while I'm playing. So very like just sort of like casually playing it, enjoying it, right? But this time I feel like I'm definitely not going to get too high. But there are some few things I've learned, a few little tips, things that I learned, right? So here's the first improvement of this raid is the fact that we're getting bonuses. And I think this is very nice. We're getting 50% rare drop rate excuse me, let's go back a little bit. We get 50% medals victory points. This is crucial. So during the big like milestones, like level 20, level 40, level 60, level 80, level, I think level 99, or maybe level 100. You should ideally inject one of these units onto your team, even if you have to use a lot of orbs. It's still worth it because essentially you're gonna get 50% more victory points. That's a lot, right? And of course, now they have actually add rare drops. And I think that's kind of weird, but it kind of sort of makes sense. As you can see, you can get rares almost at every level now. So you do get a chance to gain extra rares, which is really good in the sense that if you do, and I think I've been getting maybe 1 out of every, I don't know, 10, 15 raids, something like that. So, you know, that's not too shabby, right? That's not too shabby. But let's catch up a little bit on chat here. In JV, there's a new Valentine limited unit. I don't know the name though. Oh, Solir, yep. And that's gonna be the next topic. It's about Valentine Solir. This is the easiest raid, to be honest. She has the same main job with Garble. How many months are you playing? Hello, how's the stream? Hey Ryan, how you doing? Happy New Year. Happy Valentine's. I've been playing since day, I wanna say day 3, because when I check my login, I noticed that I'm 2 days behind the initial release date. That's when this account was created. And then, yes, I agree. I don't think this raid is very hard. I think the way that it's set up is not very hard, but I'm just severely lacking the units. Okay, so here's how it's gonna work, right? So you get bonus rewards, you get bonuses from units. So a lot of that is making the raid easier. On top of it, every 20 raids you trigger, you will trigger the actual cactar. And I think that's a nice little touch. Hey Koi, Happy New Year. So I think that's wonderful. Like, these are all great changes, but I think they probably need to do a little bit more. Like, here's what I don't understand, okay? The boss is water. So they put these guys, but hear me out, okay? Like, these 3 fire units makes perfect sense for the cactar only. So that's where you essentially will put them in terms of gaining extra stuff. And then the lightning units are gonna be the ones that essentially you want to gain extra points from fighting the siren, right? That makes sense. But then I'm not really sure why these other ones are here. But it is what it is. They have to be kind of weird to try to cover like a big spectrum of bonus units to get you extra things for players perhaps who don't have everything in the game. So that right there, I think it's great, but I think they can improve just a tiny bit. And then in terms of the rewards, it's fine. There's nothing here. I don't have any, you know, problems with this. I think the rare drops is a very nice touch. So I think what they honestly need to do is, instead of being super nitpicky about units getting like extra bonuses to be strong against, maybe they need to increase the spectrum just a tiny bit. Like in the past, you can defeat raid bosses essentially with slash, right? You can still do okay if you use other types of attacks. But I feel like these monsters, it should be a little bit weaker to perhaps more than simply just one type of attack. Right now, I'm gonna show you, I'm actually using a slash team. This is silly, but it's all I got. I don't have anything else. I'm using this team to do the bulk of the damage. It's not enough to do 1 turn kill, obviously, because this is all I got. And then what I essentially do is I'll switch to this to get the bonus kill to gain the extra bonus points when I do end up finishing it. It's a really tedious process, and I honestly don't plan on going too hard anymore since I work this weekend and tomorrow's celebration of Valentine. So basically, I'm just gonna say whatever to this raid, you know, just kind of get whatever I get. But I think the companies are paying good attention to the details of how to improve the raid. And for those of you who never played this game in the beginning, okay, understand that raid was actually canceled on the JP server because they didn't like the outcome. The players didn't like it, and so they actually had to re-scratch it and redo it. So I know they're always constantly trying to improve. So hey Quag, Happy New Year. Hey King, Happy New Year. About to head off for Chinese Day and Year. Have a good one, Nash. Thanks for stopping by, Quack, man. Hey, stay safe, all right? Don't drink too much. Hey, second, how you doing? My main only have Alien Neverland, Lear Max Random. I know, me too. I'm in the same boat as you. So I feel like the company knows and fully is aware the fact that the player base, generally speaking, are not satisfied with Raid. But I think they understand that they're going forward in the right direction in terms of how the Raid will end up being, say, maybe by like middle of the second year, right? I think hopefully we'll see. Well, hopefully we'll see in a Raid that is so enjoyable that people cannot wait, and people be like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next Raid to come. Okay, so and that's personally, I feel like they're making adjustments, like the password entry was a nice touch, and we already talked about the unit bonus, the rewards. Those are all nice touches. I think ranking, you kind of have to incentivize players to play better, right? And that's just what it is. As you can see, I'm barely trying, and I'm ranked around 9,000. Normally I'll be in the 5,000 range. And that's the other thing. I think there a lot of players have stopped essentially playing this game. And I think the companies to start making drastic improvements of this game to kind of keep the player base and hopefully attract brand new beginner players. I think this game has already made so much improvements just over like the initial state of this game, right? I think the biggest thing about this game, by far one of the crappiest systems ever created for a game, is the equipment system, and they're already kind of started making tweaks to that. And I think, in my honest opinion, if you're to rank the tiering system, if I make a tier list of this game, definitely crafting system is the worst, race system is the second worst, and I think maybe they need to make some changes in terms of some of the grind in the game. Like, for example, people always mention books. Book drops needs to be increased. There needs to be more ways that we can get books, and of course there probably need to be better drops in terms of other things. Rare crafting materials, I know they're implementing giving us free pulls every so often, but there needs to be better ways for us to farm. Essentially not trivializing Raid, but just adding on top of the fact that we have Raid as an availability. And here's the thing, I always tell people this: if you don't enjoy something of the game, just don't bother with that part of the game, right? If you don't like Arena, there's really honestly not much to be gained from Arena in terms of materials and rewards. Simply, if you to calculate the investment that you're placing in, which will be your time, and what you're gaining out of it, unless you love it, unless you're getting full enjoyment out of it, it's not worth the investment. I say the same thing with Raid. Like, for those folks who are using things like auto clickers and all that stuff, you know, that's a whole new ball game, right? That's a different topic conversation for a different day. But for those people who are actually sitting here manually doing all this, it's still tedious, it's still, in my opinion, not really worth the grind. But at the same time, grind it as little bit at a time, so as each subsequent Raid comes along, you're trying to finish just one product maybe every 6 months. Like, if you can get one UR product finished to your liking, bam, I think you're at a win, right? Platinum Helm, I'm halfway there. Like, Soul of Thermasa, halfway there, right? Elf Cloak, I'll hopefully get halfway there. And if I'm halfway there, I can start ignoring these. I don't really care about these anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't. And then, of course, what else am I looking for? Maybe these things. Oh, by the way, that's the thing too. Unlimited number. You can just keep buying these. Yeah, these things. The big one is going to be the Joyful Heart, Tree Sap, those, and the White Sand. Those are the big boys, right? And then, of course, the Void Mega Sites, the Earth Mega Sites. And everything else, you should not be spending any of your stuff. And the other thing is, I hope every medal in this game just accumulates over time. Like, if I was to hoard 42,000, they should allow me to hoard it until the future raids come along. Because what if I don't want to buy anything on this raid? I should be given the opportunity to not spend these medals to buy crafting materials or crafting recipes from a future raid, right? I think that's a thing they need to add. Maybe it's already implemented, I don't know. What I am doing is I am testing out this. For those of you, maybe you can tell me that. I'm testing out the tower medals to see if I keep the 50, because I know that's something new. That's something completely new that they implemented, carrying over the medals, right? Free stuff, yes. There's mock shop to use the token. I like for them to cut the required mass to classify by either a third or half. 300 runs at level 100 is crazy. I agree. I think they could definitely perhaps change some of those, the number of runs. You know what, second? I am being wishful. I am being wishful, right? It's Chinese New Year. I'm happy. And I wish if anybody involved with the companies are watching my stream or other content creator streams, you know, just kind of like pay attention to what the player base wants. I by no means want to represent the community in any ways, but I feel like, you know, just getting us to get together and talk about it, for me, it's worthy of the time. This game is not very beginner friendly, to be honest. Need a few weeks to even do a decent EX equipment job. The old units are sustainably easier. I agree. Hey Mike P, how you doing? Where is Final Fantasy VII collab? Money, money, money. I hear you, man. A lot of people thought Final Fantasy VII was going to be the one for 1 year, but my guess is probably going to come somewhere along 1.5 year. Hey Alpha, how you doing, man? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year. Beginner arena will be nice. I agree. I think they should have a beginner. Like, honestly, this game should start dividing beginner things. And as you graduated, the beginner thing just fade away. Like, that's a feature that they could easily implement. I don't know about programming, but I could definitely see that being super easy. Like, you know, and like for example, right? Like, one thing I talked about, which I don't know if I did talk about it. I didn't talk about it, but let's go ahead and make that the next subject. The Porcelain Tower. Here's a big flaw of the Porcelain Tower if you're a beginner. If you climb all the way to floor 20 and you can't beat floor 21, guess what? You're done. You're essentially done for the whole week because you cannot reset the tower unless you conquer all 40 floors. So as a brand new begin player, essentially the game is telling you, hey, this is how far you can climb. Too bad. We don't care about you. And here's the thing. I understand it does come back, right? And you can continue your progress. But I think that's lame. I think the beginning players joining at 1 year anniversary should be given perhaps even better treatment than all of us who began playing this game when the game first came out, right? When the first game came out, we were given 20 floors. If you beat it, you can reset it. If you can't beat it, then you can't beat it. That's it, right? And then as we're getting stronger, they add 10 more floors. We beat it, but you have to get to the very top and you got to clear it to reset it. That's something they should implement for beginning players if they're entering, say, somewhere a few months down the road. Why are you punishing beginning players if they're willing to join this community? I think that's something Mr. Hiroki and the designer needs to fix. For example, if they're a beginning player, they should be able to reset the tower at each different intervals. For example, if they beat floor 20, they should be able to reset at floor 20. But you can only, you know, farm 1 to 20 again. You cannot go beyond that until you beat floor 30, etc., etc. That should be something that should be implemented, and that's something the companies needs to pay attention to, because if I'm just a regular player and I notice that flaw, then everyone should have noticed that flaw, right? Hey Nag, did you news that there will be a Warrior of Light rerun? No, I have not, Kenzen, but I'm pretty sure that's a great idea because a lot of people want Warrior of Light. He's one of the best tanks in the game. As I saw a long time ago when I started my channel, I realized Warrior of Light is by far one of the best tanks you should go after. It's possible you can do a bracketing arena. I agree. I think there should be bracketing in terms of arena for newbie players, because one thing I hate when I join a new gacha game that's a couple of years old, and I'll use Epic 7 as an example, I can't climb. I simply cannot climb. And to me, it's a worthless content in the game as a beginning player because I'm getting no enjoyment out of it. You contribute to the login, use the login that allows you to enter beginning area. Yes, that's a great idea. And then once you enter the beginning area, like once you clear all that stuff, then it gets deleted from your account, like the way the account gets accessed, and then you can just kind of progress. I think that's a perfect way to design a gacha game, because ultimately every gacha game lose at least 30% of their player base within 1 month of release. So after that, they need to get better at attracting beginning players. And you need to clear EX too, exactly. I think that's a great point, Alpha. I think on the tower, if you clear the EX, then you know you can move on to the next one, and then so forth, so forth. Again, easy implementation on their part. Well, see, that's the whole point. See, Zen said, for my tower, I'm stuck to level 15. That's exactly my point. Like, he should not be penalized for being stuck at 15 because he cannot do anything else anymore. Once he's stuck at 15, that's it. He's done for the entire week. And here's the thing, right, Kenzen? You said it's okay, it will be back in a few months. But see, in my opinion, it's not okay. I think beginning players should be allowed to farm whatever floor they get up to. And they should be able to just farm those floors, right? And I think that's an easy implementation. Skip the recent tower. I prefer rain than tower. It's stressful for me. I agree. I think the tower this time around, it was very, very challenging. I wanted to make a video about my thoughts on it, but I decided to hold back because I realized, you know, it may be construed as me being negative towards it. Even though I crushed it, you know, I did crush it, and I was able to crush my second run. I did everything almost in one day. I think I actually did everything in one day. Actually, no, I didn't. I did it in 1.1 days because as soon as I was able to reset, I was done. I got my ring and I was done. But I think overall, like I said, the whole Friday Free Thinking platform is to get people to start voicing their opinions. And everyone is intelligent. And I keep saying this, everyone is intelligent. I don't want these companies to treat us like morons because we're not. We're all intelligent gamers. We all have some sort of experience gaming. And I don't think they should penalize. So I learned a few things. Luminous Armlet obviously is actually only equipable by light units because I haven't even made this. So as you guys can see, I'm done with it because I farmed it all. I farmed exactly to the T and I didn't spend any more time than I needed to. So boom, Happy New Year to me, bam, done. So like I said, this game is good. This game is actually great. And there are a lot of things I love about this game, but there are a lot of things I despise about this game. Sometimes I don't even feel like logging in, but other times I cannot wait to log in. And I think the job of the designers and Mr. Hiroki is to try to get us to feel every single day we want to log into this game. I'm starting to play Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm getting to the point already that some days I don't feel like logging in. But with this game, I still feel like logging in. And I think that's the feeling that every player should feel. And that's their goal as a company, is to get us to fall in love with this game and log in every day and wanting to improve and wanting to get better, therefore wanting to perhaps spend money so that the company themselves can grow more and the game itself can grow more. I think this game has so much potential that if they miss out on this opportunity, they're gonna regret it. They're gonna regret this. I'm seriously, like Square and Gumi have a potential gold mine here. There's so many things they could do to make tons of money, like a few $1 million easy every time they do a collab, maybe like 10, 20, 100 million, right? If Final Fantasy VII finally hits, that's an easy $100 million profit margin, in my opinion, if it's calculated and done right. If it's done right, people are gonna start throwing money. Like, they're gonna just say, shut up and take my money. Seriously, they're just gonna whip out their credit card because people want Final Fantasy VII. People want Chrono Trigger. People want, Legend of Mana or whatever, all that stuff. People want all this stuff. And Square's got a gold mine on their hand. They just need to, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just one dude and just voicing my opinion, but unless a condition is met, the flag will either grant or stop access to certain content. Because of that system, beginners are more left behind, if you would say. Yeah, I agree. I think beginner players are definitely left behind. Like, I love the tower because I get to play with all my units that I've been working on, right? But I feel like this one was very restrictive. One of my guildies said he felt that this tower session was very restrictive. If you had certain units, your life was easy. But if you're lacking those units, your life was hard. You can still beat it by throwing all your great units and your great vision cards at it, but it's a little bit grindier than it should have been. Like their initial tower 1 through 20, 1 through 30, I think they were done exceptionally well, right? You could just kind of use different strategies. But this time, you cannot disable. You cannot stop on a lot of units. So there's two status ailments they already like nerfed in that sense. I don't like to use the word nerf, but essentially they said, well, you can't use these. You can use sleep, you can use paralyze, but I think sleep is still the best for PvE. And then you can use paralyze, which I said is not that great because there's a chance that your opponent still can move and hit you. Right? I use tons of sleep, and I use stun. I use stun and sleep. That's all I used. That was all I had because I realized disable was nerfed and stop was nerfed. So my two strong units, Warrior of Light and Augureus, they were completely essentially useless. I just kept using their bash abilities to stun, and I gave them sleep source so they can just put people to sleep. And I was able to defeat things fairly easily until I got to the bosses. That, you know, took a little grinding, but I'm okay with that part. I'm okay with, you know, zerging the boss. I don't mind that tactic at all. So I know, right? I was gonna say second, it is life focus, so that's an easy skip for a lot of people. I agree, Ryan. I think that's the thing. There's so many geniuses out there in terms of knowledge of gaming and coding. I think it's like, as they should really listen to people when it comes to something that's logical. And that word maybe is kind of like the word common sense. Maybe it's not used as logical anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe people don't see it as logic. But when it comes to numbers, that's all it is, logic. But anyways, I hope the companies get better. And I think maybe that will be a topic of conversation I'll talk about during the collaboration stream session with Diggs and Mysidia and maybe RNJ and all those names. And maybe that's something we'll get together and collectively bring out to the community, because you know it's all about reach, right? When you can reach the community, people start rising up and understand, hey, we need this for the game because we truly care about this game, and hopefully the people listen. But I think so far Hiroki has done a pretty solid job in terms of certain things. But honestly, I don't want to sound like I'm stupid right now. Like, I love the free items, but I don't think free items is going to keep people around. That's not enough incentive. Gameplay is way more important than simply free stuff. No Heart, how you doing? Welcome to stream. Happy Lunar New Year. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. They nullified things and then they made them high resistance, high defense, high spirit. So like my strongest unit was hitting them for like 300 damage without using special skills, and I felt like, what am I doing here? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm essentially just grinding to grind. I didn't like that design at all. So hopefully they'll make floor 41 to 50 a little bit better. I haven't looked up how the Japanese server implemented the floor 41 to 50. Maybe I should go look at some footage and kind of see what they did there. But I think it's a great opportunity for the designers to make some tweaks for the global server. And I hate to say it that way. I really hate to say that we want better things as global players. That's not what I want. I don't want things to be better or fixed. I just want things to be done right on JP so that when they translate it, it's an easy transition. It's smooth, right? The experience is smooth. That's my dream. My hope is that there's no more need for fixing things or tweaking things, you know what I mean, because of different cultures or audiences. Honestly, that shouldn't be a factor when it comes to how you design a game. Good gameplay is good gameplay. I don't hear people bitching about Zelda because it's terrible gameplay. That's a ridiculous statement. People love Contra. People love Zelda. People love Double Dragon. People love Street Fighter, right? People love Final Fantasy for what they are. And there's no tweaks or features that's added on that's gonna make it super worse or super good. It's just keep the core gameplay, but just make improvements in areas that are not what people generally speaking gripe about. Like grinding, everyone gripes about grinding. No matter how much I defend grinding, it's grinding. It has a negative connotation. This is why people call it a daily grind in our lives, right? This is why they call it that. And I think they need to fix certain things that are easily fixable without cutting into their profit margin. Maybe it sounds really easy for me to sit behind my keyboard and judge them on that. I admit that. It is. I don't want to be a keyboard warrior. But I think there are so many logical steps to take. And I think they need to do more testing with small markets, like maybe do beta testing. I don't know if they even do beta testing. You know, do beta testing on things before it gets implemented. One thing I learned about games in general and gaming communities and gaming company is sometimes they don't do their, you know, due diligence work. The other day, actually, I found that one of my recent videos, I completely missed one part. And I thought about it. Should I delete the video and re-download it or re-upload it? That was a lot of work. But in hindsight, I probably should have done that because it showed to the audience that I'm doing my due diligence and making sure that my QC is where it needs to be. And I think in a global mass market of video game creation, they need to make sure they do their job right? You know, bugs are always gonna be bugs, but certain aspects, it seems like they didn't do the testing before they made it live. And that's all we can hope for, right? That's all we can hope for. For beginners, free items are beautiful. Oh yeah, free items are beautiful for people who've been playing this game for a long time, like myself. You know, they're always welcome. It's not better, same model element requirements. Give us more skip tickets and even skip tickets. Yeah, well, everyone is gonna have their opinions about everything. But I think there are certain things that the collective community have a strong opinion on, right? And I think that's where they need to kind of attack those. Like they need to just treat those as their priorities rather than, you know, having 500 emails with 400 of those people having individual wants or needs from the game. That's hard to do, but if 400 people all want the same thing, then they should start opening up their mind as companies and listen to them and maybe implement those type of things. Book grind is one thing. Like I doubt they make a lot of money on our energy pods. Might as well just drop the quantity. What's up, Nash? We getting anything for Valentine? No, the only thing you're gonna be getting is my love. That's it. I love you guys. I love this game. Love the community. And that's my Valentine's gift to y'all. It's Sunday. I actually have to work and I won't be able to put up any content. But I do have some special plans with the missus, so at least I'll have something for her. All right, I'm getting excited because I want to summon. Here we go. Let's summon and see what we get. Skip animation off, 50 UR units, shards guaranteed. Let's do it. What am I looking for? So I did the 100 pulls, the 100 unit shard pulls, and I got some really good stuff. So what I'm really looking for is, I'm actually looking for Odoa because I would definitely like another AP generating TMR. And I think I really would like to get more shards for Niv and Sakura. So that's my goal. Here we go, boys and girls. Here we go. Here we go. Good luck. Good luck. Here we go. Let's get Odoa, man. I would like the Odoa. I have over 4K skip tickets. I have, I think, 3,000. So at this point, I don't really use them anymore because I'm just using to farm. I don't like to use skip tickets because sometimes I just let it run in the background. So, oh, there it is. Nice call, guys. Nice call, Odoa. Skull. All right, that's fine. I'll build him eventually for Lightning Team. Glaciala needs to be almost finished too. I need her to be finished. Venera, very nice. So far, so okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. 60. Everything they've given me so far, it's been great. Everything has been great. Odoa, look at that, boys and girls. Called it. Whew. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and finish the wheel off. Rob, okay, cool. I'm cool with Rob. Rob is gonna be great in 120. Glaciala, oh yes, that's 100 shard for Glaciala already. Skull Hall, all right. He's still a candidate. Odoa. Hey, seriously, is Gumi watching and someone's actually behind it? And it's like, okay, Nash is summoning, so let's go ahead and give him Odoa. Yeah, we should have had a gambling thing. I should have activated Nightbot and activated Frederica. Good. Save me some friendship medals. Look at that. Beautiful. This is beautiful, guys. 0 soul medals. I mean, technically speaking, soul medals is always great, but 0 soul medals. That was a great summon, guys. I like Glaciala because Glaciala does a lot of damage, and I realized my account has a lot of spear users, and she has the guaranteed hit, and boy, it's a lot of damage. Like Glaciala does a lot of damage, and I would love to have Glaciala just to kind of run around. No busts, 0 busts, guys, 0 busts. Let's see what else we got. I was contemplating about doing these. I don't think this is a good deal for me, right? This is not a good deal because I only need Sakura, and essentially I'm gambling for just shards, so this is not worth my 2,000 pay gems. This one, I don't know if it's really worth it either. I have some of the best vision cards in the entire game for my account, okay? You know, don't misquote me. The best vision cards of the game for my account already maxed out. And then the ones that I haven't maxed out, I'm just waiting to get more rainbow, what is it called? The rainbow orbs. I just need more rainbow orbs to finish them off. So okay, let's do some ticket summons. This is what you guys have been all waiting for in New Year's celebration. You know, it's gonna be a great year because it's the year of the ox. It's not my animal. My animal is snake. I'm a snake. All right, guys. Glaciala would be great for trial event with Titus. Glaciala is going to be great, period, because this game is pushing for water to be very strong. And I think when Titus comes out, I'm going to probably run a lot of water units just to mess around. I've been waiting for this moment because essentially these rainbow tickets, I was waiting to get specific units out of them. Essentially, I gotten Lunar, I got Kitufe, I got everyone that I wanted. And then of course recently I added Niv to the team. Eldira is here. Only one missing is Sakura, folks. So I'm gonna go for it. And there's no more reason to hoard at this moment, right? In the future, I guess Garble will be one that will be awesome. Garble is great unit. Like, come on, magic damager, dark, like we need that. But personally, I think I'm gonna let Garble fall where he needs to fall. I'm gonna stick with the tactics of buying his shards, and then when he does finally come to the team, I can just build him up at that moment. Don't care too much about taking him to Arena or Guild Wars or anything like that. When he does come, he will come. I am gonna plan for Dark Rose because Helena, I probably shouldn't say this on stream, so I'm not gonna say it, but I really enjoy Helena because she obviously has thick thighs. I mean those are pretty thick. And you know, that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to review more than I need to review, and people are gonna be like, because anything you say on internet, it's forever. So let's just say I really enjoy the way she looks. Damn, there you go. And she plays really cool too, right? She's a dark unit, dark caster from a distance, lots of damage. Come on, man, she looks great. I mean, she looks great. That's if I was to invest in one. If I was to invest in one premium unit, it would have to be Dark Rose. I mean, URMon, I'm not too impressed by URMon, given the fact that water is being pushed so hard in the future, right? So here we go, boys and girls, one at a time. Here we go, one at a time. One at a time. Should we do one? Let's do one at a time. Let's do Sakura. Come on, Sakura. If Sakura comes, man, New Year's is like the best New Year's, guys. Sakura. At least you're being honest. Thank you, Christopher. At least I appreciate that. I mean, come on. She is sexy, dude. She is just. Whew. Give me all like hot up in here. This red shirt is like burning up right now. Here we go. Ready? Okay, Laswell. I'll take Laswell. No issue. You know what? I have a big pet peeve. Like when I used to watch tons of people, when I used to watch people summon on all these different games, when I notice it has to be a nervous tick. When people summon, they'll say things like, "Yeah, this unit's pretty good," and they'll talk about a unit or they'll talk about something, and then boom, they'll get something. They're like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll take it." Like I remember I used to hate it when people say that. It's like, what do you mean you'll take it? You already got it. There's nothing else you can do about it. There's no more taking it. and I just caught myself doing the same thing. So I think it has to be like a nervous tick thing, you know. All right, I'm not gonna say that anymore. I'm not gonna say things like I'll take it. All right, here we go. Gumi, Square Enix, I want Sakura for New Year. Please give me Sakura. Okay, I don't need this. All right, let me take it back. I don't want to be begging. I'm not gonna beg. All right, here we go. Sakura. Stern Leonis. All right, not too shabby. Not too shabby. See, not too shabby is better than I'll take it. He is actually quite good though. Like he's really good for PvE. Like he's pretty excellent for PvE. Mine is not finished. Mine is not finished. Let me click on it. I need. So yeah, I still gotta wait. I think I can get him to LB4. So. All right, here we go. I got Sakura from this. No, really? No, just take it. Take it. Second, man. I'm not. This is bro love. Like I love the way you like approach things. I know you always jabbing at me. Like you're always like needling me. I think that's the word I learned recently. I've been watching a lot of poker, so the terminology people like to use is needling. So you're like needling someone, and you're always good at needling me. I agree. It always keeps me on my toes. Yeah, Stern 120 does look awesome. He does. He does. All right, I'm gonna pretend I'm playing. You guys, you remember that game show called? What's that game show called? Oh my God, what's that game show called? Press Your Luck. Here we go. All right, big money, big money, big money. Stop. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that will be a whammy. You see the little whammy, do a little scene, and then take all my money. That's what I felt like right there. That was the whammy, guys. That was the whammy. All right, Nash, what do you want to do? You got one more spin. What do you want to do? You got one more spin. You got one more spin. We're gonna press my luck. We're gonna press my luck. Here we go. We're gonna press my luck. We're gonna press my luck. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna press my luck. Big money, big money. This is it, guys. I just hit a whammy, so this is it, guys. Here we go. No bust, please. Sakura, this is the only chance I got. This is the only chance I have. Stop. Kidufei. All right. See, the good news is I would have got Kidufei here again. So, all right, guys, that's what it is. No Sakura. No Sakura. A little bit sad. Yeah, I'm a little sad. It's probably because I shouldn't have gotten this haircut, to be honest. All right, we got fortune cookies. My mom always said, if somebody try to knock you down, you get up and punch them in the face. So here we go. Here we go. Let's get some Sakuras and maybe some Nivs out of these shards. And by the way, you can get vision cards out of these. That's awesome. No bust and Sakura is pretty contradicting, no? Yeah, I guess it is contradicting. Here we go. No bust. No bust. Sakura does have some bust. What am I saying? This isn't okay, Stern. All right, cool. Let's just go through them. Freezer Ball Shiva, that's still fine because I haven't finished that card. Engelbird, I don't know if I'm going to be building him anytime soon. He's kind of fallen off the cliff a long time ago for me because I already have Warrior of Light. There you go. There you go. They're blessing me with 5 shards of Sakura. How much Sakura shards do you have? I think I have 140. I didn't buy all the ones because I was running out of gems. Rob, that's 2 Robs. That's 2 Robs back to back, and I'm okay with it. New test subject. I don't remember if that was a good card for me. Okay, never mind. They're giving me 10. Horn, yes. I would like to finish Horn as soon as possible, please. Howlet. Okay, good. These are all actually really good pulls. I should have 120. Oh, did I? Oh, I thought I had 140. Oh no, never mind. My free-to-play account has 140. Yeah. But I'm not gonna go for Sakura on my free-to-play account at all. I don't really care if I get her. I'm not gonna build her. I realized that my free-to-play account has officially become a Gunners account. I have all the Gunners account on that. Let's take a look at our vision cards, and then we're gonna do some Guild Wars. So we need to go ahead and change this to rarity. So look, I've been using this card a lot. This card is very, very good. I use this card, and essentially I kind of, what do I do? Essentially I flip through like these cards right here. These three plus this one. And I just go ahead and flip through all these. And then I don't use this card anymore because I don't use Orlando in my arena or Guild Wars. So those are essentially all my big cards. And then all these other cards, they're all done. Like this is done. This is done. And this will be done by the time this week ends. You know, I'm just kind of waiting a little bit on my gems to replenish itself. So this is gonna take a little while. This is gonna take a little while. And I was actually surprised that during the New Year's Lunar celebration, they didn't give us the ability to purchase the Esper Vision Card combo for 2,000 pay gems, plus the 1,000 selector ticket. I think it really depends on what I really need to finish. If not, I'm just gonna finish this. As you can see, I need 100 more. So I have one select ticket, so I'm just probably gonna spend it on that. So I really like Rob's TMR. Yes, you're right, Ryan. I'm loving Rob's TMR. I'm definitely gonna get it because of the slash and the gauge. I think it's a great TMR to give to KOR Stern. So again, would be useful if 2B comes out, sir, or wind type would be really good. Okay, yeah, Gaon is awesome, period. And Kenju, welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you. So yeah, so this is looking pretty solid. Like these other cards, it's gonna take forever for me to get all these. And I'm okay with it because I don't necessarily need them at this moment. You know what I mean? Like, if I would have built Frederica a long time ago, this would have been the card that I would have got to 99 first. But let's take a look at the card that you guys talked about. Where is that card? I don't have that card. You guys realize I don't have that card. I don't actually own the card they gave me some shards to. So I don't even have the card to point out. Anyways, let's do some Guild Wars because I think that's all the summons I have. That's all the summons I have. So we talked about Raid. We talked about the Porcelain Tower. So those are really good Friday Free Thinking topics. And then, of course, let's talk about Valentine Salir. I feel, okay, this is how I feel, okay? Bear with me here. In some societies, it's okay to sexualize teenagers because that's how the culture are there. You know, some culture just believe in that. Like, you know, they don't necessarily disapprove of like teenage marriages or people marrying young and things like that, right? I think in the American culture, we definitely have a lot of taboo things that, generally speaking, is frowned upon in society, right? We don't, you know, it's a crime. It's a crime that you go to prison for a long time if people start thinking about teenagers and things like that in a, you know, in a more than friendly way. And so that's something definitely in this society people frown upon, and I agree with that. I don't think you should think about kids that way. I think that's kind of messed up. I feel like the Valentine Ketone, it's one of those situations that if you look at it, I think in the storyline, Salir is a teenager. I don't know. This is what people have told me, that Salir is a teenager. So the way they designed her on the JP recent release of the Valentine version, I personally feel like that's inappropriate for video games because that's just how it is and how I'm being brought up. You know, I work with children, right? I work with children, and I think that's kind of a messed up thinking. But in some cultures, people don't necessarily view it that way. And I think, personally, I don't even know if they're gonna bring, you know, that unit to the States, because I watch a lot of those YouTube videos. I think it's called Did You Know About Gaming series. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably watched that. And I'm not jumping to conclusions, by the way. What I'm saying right now is I don't know how old Celera is. I don't. I don't pay attention to the storyline. And this is all what if, right? This is a big what if situation. This is not me thinking about something or stating this as a fact. I'm not stating this as a fact at all. I'm just saying this is if. This is a big if. If Celera is portrayed as a teenager, the way she's dressed in that Valentine, I don't know if that's appropriate for global release. So the way I look at it is, American are very PC about things. And I watch a lot of those history videos in which Eastern games, when they come over to Western culture, a lot of things get censored because of the fact that Western culture, we simply just don't want to deal with controversy if it's not necessary, right? And so the way I look at it is, it's okay to sexualize, women in the sense of if they're trying to sell, because we all know sex does sell. That's what it is. I'm not saying it's okay to sexualize women. I'm saying is if companies are doing it to attract people to spend money in a video game world, I don't overthink it. I don't try to think it farther than it needs to be, right? That's what it is. But the thing is though, bottom line is, if that's the truth, like I'm okay with like ketone swimsuits or say Venera, the way how voluptuous she looks, or the way they made Dark Rose so voluptuous looking. Like I'm all about that, I'm down with all that. But the thing is, they're probably not going to bring those things over to global because they don't want to necessarily deal with the controversy it may bring. You can't imagine if somebody actually pointed that out, then the game's going to get a lot of negative press, and it's going to potentially, get like parents and shit in this country to like jump on it. Kind of like how Mortal Kombat was. Remember guys, when Mortal Kombat was so huge that it made such a big deal in the government, and they even like created like all kinds of stuff. And so the way I look at it is bottom line is, I don't disapprove or approve of things. All I'm saying is I hope the people who are bringing things over to the global server at least have a mindful of how the Western culture is, because there's things that they always like remove, like religious stuff. They remove those all the time. Like when the game gets translated, they just simply remove them. Over sexualization of things, they just remove them. Things that are deemed inappropriate in the Western culture, they just remove it. And it has nothing to do with the fact about censorship. Oh my God, this is so bad. It's just the fact that they just don't want negative press. And that's how I look at it, that's how I look at it. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of, I'm gonna give you the flip side of this conversation. This is how I view Western culture people. The hypocrisy. I always look at America as like a country founded upon hypocrisy. And this is the biggest hypocrisy. I'm sure a lot of folks in this chat have heard of this movie called Battle Royale. How can you not, right? One of the better movies that's been made over the years. When that game was first released, when that movie was first released, it was banned in 27 countries, I believe. America was included in that. Of course, when I was a young kid at that time, anything that you tell me not to do, I'm gonna do it. Well, for the most part. There are certain things I will still never cross the boundary to do, because going to prison, I won't survive in prison. Right? Let's be honest. So anyways, I watched Battle Royale back in the days when it was banned. I watched it. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't mind the concept of it, and I thought there was nothing crazy about it. It is what it was, and overall, I thought it was fine. But I understood, even as a 20-year-old college student, sort of immature, I still understood why it would be banned. You know what I mean? Like, I was with that idea. So of course, fast forward to the future. Only ones complaining are virtue singling white knight weebs. Yeah, well, Seb loves you. All I can say is welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you. And And personally, like I said, I don't disapprove of anything and I don't approve of anything. As long as things that comes along and I can cover it, and I don't like negative press, not just for myself, but for the community, for the game, I'm okay with it if people accept it. If people don't accept it, like I said, I can understand why. But I'm not trying to condone the actions or frown upon the actions or whatever the words are, right? I'm not on either bandwagon. I just try to always stay neutral. I have my own personal beliefs, but most of the time I don't push my personal belief onto the community. I'm gonna say it like that. But let's put it this way. So anyways, Battle Royale was released. It was unbanned recently, right? I don't know, 5-10 years ago it was unbanned. But you guys all know this movie called Mockingjay, right? So I first watched Mockingjay, and I sat down and watched it, and I'm like, wow, they're gonna think about Oscar nominations and all these nominations, and great directing, great acting, Jennifer Lawrence, sexy. What's the difference between Battle Royale and Mockingjay? I dared someone to come right now into stream or anywhere, anywhere that I expose myself to the internet. I challenge you to debate with me what was the actual difference between Mockingjay and Battle Royale. All I can say is the themes are the same. The storyline's essentially the same if you think about it. There's nothing to Mockingjay that makes what it is. In my honest opinion, I think the hypocrisy was shown there. I feel like, in fact, people actually interviewed the creator of the books, right? I think it's based on books, right? And so they interviewed her and it's like, oh, have you heard of this thing called Battle Royale? And she's like, no, I never heard of it. And I'm thinking like, you're clearly lying. There's no freaking way you did not know Battle Royale, where almost everybody knew about it because it created so much controversy across the planet. You will have to be living under a rock and have literally no internet access or have any conversations with any other human being for the last 15 years. And you know, some people even venture out to say that she copied off of that concept. And I'm just sitting here on my couch with my fiance, right? At the time we weren't engaged, but you know, I was telling her, I said, listen, you never seen the movie Battle Royale. You don't understand how much hypocrisy is right now being shown by the Western cultures. Like, what the hell are you doing? You banned this movie, which was a great movie, by the way. You know, if you're gonna take it for what it was, it's a great social commentary on life. You know, human beings' existence in period, all that stuff. It's just a great commentary. It's a well done movie. And in fact, actually, my fiance recently just watched Battle Royale, and she didn't really understand what was the point of it. And I said the same thing to her, like I said to her when we watched Mockingjay, the first movie together. I was like, dude, there's no point to this movie either, but we know what they're trying to do. We know what this lady who created this storyline was trying to do. Essentially, she took something that already existed and then just mix-matched it. But oh my god, global appeal, like people saying, oh my god, that was such a successful series of films, like one of the best films of all time, and is what essentially brought Jennifer Lawrence to the forefront. And all this jibber jabber, like when you clearly seen a teenager get killed on screen with arrows and knives and shit, like, come on, dude. Like, the hypocrisy is ridiculous. So this is why I feel like this is a kind of an iffy subject for me. Like, if they bring these units from JP, there are going to be these, someone pointed out, these SJWs, they're going to stand up and they're going to complain about it, right? In actuality, if you just ignore that, if you don't even address that issue, right, you can just not worry about it. Just enjoy the game for what it is. It's a game, for crying out loud, folks. It's a game, but at the same time, there's always going to be politics that people are going to try to inject into it. They're going to try to divide us. They're going to try to divide the people. And personally, I hope that doesn't happen. But we're going to have to sit back and kind of wait on that subject. You know what I mean? Because I haven't heard anything about Celia. And if she's a great unit or not, like, I don't know. I know what they're trying to do with it. Like, and it is Valentine's Day, and they thought maybe they took one of the characters in the game and you know, kind of portray her in a sexy way and sell the product. And I'm okay with that. But honestly, you know, I'm not going to touch that subject until that subject resurfaces itself. And I'm just brought it out because someone actually asked me what I thought about the Valentine Celia. I didn't think about summoning her, and I don't know anything about her, but when I heard about it, I was like, yeah, people who are pointing this out make some sense to it. So put the all naked and there will be nothing to understand. Yeah, I suppose so. I had lots of friends in high school that would dress pretty revealing, so are people mad that girl dressed away, or are they mad that they're playing the game? I'm actually curious to hear. Look, bottom line is, Rue says, welcome to the stream, by the way, and Happy New Year. I think it has to do with the idea of perception, right? We perceive things differently. Some people perceive things because that's the environment they were brought up, that's the way they were raised. So some people feel it's okay because that's the way they were taught to sexualize or, you know, objectify females, you know, in certain way. But at the same token, females also know that what they do ultimately sells if they sexualize themselves or objectify themselves. And I keep saying, hey Joe, thank you, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. The way I look at it is this: as a casual streamer, I watch a lot of other streamers. I watch a lot of other people on YouTube and Twitch and whatever, even though I don't do so much Twitch. But I learned that when women knows what they're doing in terms of revealing shirts and okay, let me give you an example. Let's put it this way. My fiance has been watching a lot of those exercise videos from YouTube because, well, gyms are kind of like not in the safe, you know, environment to be in right now, right? Hey R, hello to you, Happy New Year. And so the way I look at it is this: when she looked for exercise video, she's not gonna click on a thumbnail that shows some woman with her legs spread and the title says, "This is how you stretch yourself." But when a guy looks at those videos, I don't know what it is, something in our brain just triggers, whoa, this girl is spreading herself and she's titled, "This is how you stretch." And it's just a natural intuition, we click, boom, we click, right? Oh, hey Cabbage, Happy Lunar New Year to you, welcome. I know, right? It is a heavy topic here. We're doing some heavy ass topic here, man. And so, and the other day, she and I was sitting on the couch. We were sitting on the couch and we're watching, and I'm clicking through YouTube on my TV. But the thing is, there's tons of these recommended things because she keeps watching these exercise videos. And one of them popped up, and it just has this Russian lady. It has like 7 million views. And she's like, her thumbnails is she has her legs spread wide open, but of course she's wearing her exercise outfit. And it says how to stretch your thighs or something like that. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, can I click on this? She's like, why would you want to click on that? I was like, I'm not the one looking at exercise video. You're the one that's looking at exercise video and is triggering all these stupid ass videos to show up on the TV. And she's like, yeah, but I'm not going to click on that because of that thumbnail. If I'm going to exercise, I'm going to look for something that makes sense. So that brought up to the whole point of this. Yes, in society, women understand that they don't want to be treated a certain way, but yet they also know that is something they can use to their advantage. Okay, I'm pretty sure not every person clicked on that thumbnail because they want to see how to stretch themselves. They click on a thumbnail because they want to see things. It's just what it is. Ultimately, the old saying goes, sex sells. It's true, sex does sell, man. I mean, come on. Sex sells. That's just what it is. Do you really think that a lot of guys go to Twitch streams and they look up these girl gamers and then these girls accidentally put on a shirt that's low cut? They didn't do that on purpose. I mean, what I'm saying is they didn't do that by accident. They did that on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, they did that on purpose. They put on those shirts so they can get views. I don't have that ability to do that, so I can't. I have to somewhat rely on my content or rely on my personality. Or rely on something that I'm not attracting a bunch of females and saying, ooh, that Nash Titter guy, he's really hot. I'm gonna go watch his stream. No, I'm not, what's his name? I'm not, oh my God, I forgot his name. I'm not like Angelina Jolie's husband, Brad Pitt. I'm not Brad Pitt or I don't know, Justin Bieber, for God's sakes. I can't believe I said that name. Or like, you know, Justin Timberlake. By the way, I have a man crush on Justin Timberlake, even though I think he's probably batting for their team back in the days. But nevertheless, it doesn't really make any difference what individuals view things. It's ultimately how society view things, because that's the collective whole, right? We're all part of a society, and ultimately either we accept what's going on in society or we move to a different society. But in the Western society, there's a lot of hypocrisy, because we're like saying things like, we have women saying like, don't treat us like dirt, don't treat us like sexual objects. But then everywhere you see, on anywhere that has any sort of media going on, you see women taking advantage of the situation, or at least I perceive to be them taking advantage of the situation by essentially, you know, showing their physical attributes to sell views in YouTube or whatever it is, right? You don't see a girl wearing like, you know, everything all buttoned down, all looking like prissy, not prissy, like prude, looking like a prude on TV, right? You see people wearing nice dresses, low cut dresses, and cleavage showing dresses, even when they're like pointing at the local weather. I mean, come on, man. Like, this is what society is. Everyone knows what sells. Corporations knows it. Local TV shows knows it. Everybody knows it. It's just what it is. It is what it is, man. Like, and so for that, I know why they're doing it with Salir, but I can also see why people oppose it. You're always gonna have people polarized, you know? There's always gonna be polarization with all this shit. All I'm saying is, my opinion is, I want to be neutral on it until I see what's it all about. And that's my whole point of this. It's clickbaiting, man. Thumbnails are clickbaits on YouTube, right? I only go on Twitch to my friend's stream. I don't even watch. Beauty sale. Okay, fair enough. Alpha, I think that makes sense. The beauty sales. Sex appeal sales, right? Not necessarily sex, but sex appeal sales. Sexualized things sell. I ain't complaining. All I'm saying is I'm not complaining. But if the situation arises where we do get controversy, I'm pretty sure Diggs, I'm pretty sure Hombres, I'm pretty sure everyone who wants to jump on those type of bandwagons, they're gonna cover it. And I, like me, like I try to stay away from all that controversy, so I take a step back and do what I need to do. But anyways, I think that's all the topics of conversation today. We have some heavy stuff, so it's kind of odd that Cabbage jumped in right at the moment I'm talking about this kind of stuff. It's kind of weird, but hopefully he didn't get scared away, right? Hopefully he didn't get scared away. The most important question about Lude Salir, what's her base actually? Better be crazy high with how light her clothing is. Well, well played, sir. Well played, sir. Or well played. I don't want to add the word sir. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done hearing myself talk. Let's first of all, I gotta give a shout out to this guild. Katana Zero. Very well done. I love it. I love the way they did this. This is very nice. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tempted to attack the leader, man. Like, let me see. Let's calculate how many dudes we got left. 1, 2, 3. I need to get a new mouse. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 members who haven't attacked. And by the way, I do want to welcome some new folks. Big shout out to those folks who just recently joined us. If I can find them. So TJ, I believe he is a new member, so welcome to the guild. And there should be one more. I know we got a new person in here. Shootbox. So Shootbox and TJ, welcome to the guild. Welcome to champion level competition of War of Divisions. Okay, I'll talk about it in the next news video. Sounds good, Cabbage. And by the way, since you're here, Cabbage, let me talk a little bit about what you and I had a tiny little conversation about. I think I said that in one in a comment of one of your videos. I said something about, I miss going back to Japan, and you were surprised that I actually visited Japan. But I actually did visit Japan 2 times already, like vacation time. I think this occurred in 2019 and 2018. I was there twice So the first time I was in Tokyo, had a great time. Oh my God, it was like amazing. We did the Mario Kart. This is insane. I did the Mario Kart driving down busy ass streets in downtown Tokyo, going 35 kilometers an hour. And anytime I realized if I just swerved into incoming traffic, these giant ass buses would literally kill me. Like I'll be probably dead on impact. And we're dressed up, in these little costumes, like these little costumes we were wearing representing some sort of iconic characters or whatever. I think I picked Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. No, yeah, I think it was Winnie the Pooh, right? So anyways, they do the tour, right? You go around Tokyo, you go through like Ginza, I think it's Ginza, like the super rich shopping area. And then you go through like a few other areas. And you go to that one area, I forgot what it's called, where there's that giant tower. We stopped by there, we took pictures with the tower in the background. I think that's the highest point in Japan. And I have to say, that was definitely a crazy, badass experience. I loved it. Like the fact that I was enjoying myself driving in a freaking go-kart in downtown Tokyo, like that's amazing. And people are waving at us. I know a lot of drivers in Japan, they hate that concept. Like they're probably like big, like non-fans of that concept. But as a tourist, I think that's a crazy great idea. Best like money ever spent, to be honest. And we stopped by Kyoto the first time. So we did Tokyo and Kyoto. I gotta tell you, I rented the kimono. We walked around we walked around Kyoto, like the shrines and the temples and things. I loved it. Yes, Skytree, thank you. Skytree, yes. And I love Kyoto. It's so like awesome. We didn't get to see any geishas. Like we didn't get to see any geishas. I think we got to see one. She was kind of walking down like one of the streets, small streets. We got a little sneak peek, but I was hoping. I apologize, not geisha, it's geishas. Sorry. And so that was one of the experiences that I really enjoyed. Like I did the whole ritual. When you're going to the temple and you're cleansing yourself with the water. It was. I fell in love with all that stuff. And the street food, man, I can't complain there. Food is amazing. Food in Japan is amazing. And I just want to say, food in Asia is amazing. Okay, any country I've been to, food is like my go-to comfort thing, and that's like that's my major drive. Like I'm not a huge fan of sightseeing per se, but overall it was just amazing. In Kyoto, we also did yes, they are hard, and luckily we caught sight of one. So, and then we went to the bamboo forest. That was amazing. We took some great pictures there, and then of course we finished off that first tour. We went back to Tokyo, and Tokyo was just amazing, like great food, great atmosphere, and surprisingly it was pretty cold. It was like when it was raining, it was pretty cold. And we spent I think like 2 weeks there, almost 2 weeks. It was great. And then the second time we only went back to Tokyo. And the second time we did a lot of just modernized stuff. We did this is really cool. We did what's that called? Metal Gear Solid escape room. Oh my God, that was amazing. Metal Gear Solid escape room. I was hiding in the locker, and I found like a Easter egg, and they gave you extra points if you find Easter eggs. And there's also those, what do you call those things? Those boxes, those orange boxes or banana boxes, whatever they are. You can hide them. And there's actually like one dude, he's like circling in the compound, like with his gun, and he's like going through the lockers, and he's like, just like the video game, man. I was like living in the video game. And then I had to like dodge lasers. It's kind of like a mixture of Mission Impossible and, like they had these like wires. They were made of like wool, and they were made of wool, and they were like these what do you call it? Yarns, and they're like extended all across the room, and then you have to like kind of get through it. Man, my fat ass had a hard time getting through that, I tell you. Yeah, it was in English. And the thing was, like, I'm sorry, I'm out of shape, big time. At that time, I thought I was in shape, but I couldn't get through all the lasers. I couldn't get through all the lasers, and they kept hitting me, and I kept losing my hit points. So the catch was, if you get hit and you lose all your hit points, you have to actually reload. You have to spend real money and reload. So I was like, there's no way. I'm at the end. There's no way I'm not going to reload. So I reloaded. The thing is, they give you like an iPad, and you can attach the iPad to like things in the walls, like kind of in the video games, where you're gathering like energy recharges, and it recharges your energy, and you can like gain bullets. And we finally found a gun, and I had to stick up one of the guards to get the like a keypad, like an entry key. So I just put the gun to his back, and it was a Japanese actor, obviously, and he put his hand up, and I was like, you know, at this point, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say. Am I supposed to say it in Japanese, or am I supposed to say it in English? I would assume it's English because it's geared towards, visitors. So I said, give me your key card, and he just handed me the card, and then he pointed at the room. And oh my God, I'm telling you, this is like the most crazy experience I ever had. Like this, by far, it was worth every penny. It's just legitimately badass. Like I was thinking to myself, that's $1 million idea. What if I did this shit in America? Start doing like escape room of all these badass video games people were playing. Then I thought about it. That would be pretty hard to do because then I have to get the license to do it. One thing about Japanese culture is, as you know, Cabbage, they love to do like collaboration. So I'm sure that was easier for them to get the licensing to do those, And so apparently we beat it, and then we had a decent time because it's timed, right? You have a time. And then I found an Easter egg, so they gave me more points. And then the lady was like, if you find all the Easter eggs, you get nice badge, you get like the poster, and you get ranking. And I'm thinking, I don't live in Japan. If I did, I'll be doing this like every week. So apparently if you find all the Easter eggs, you can get all these little goodies. I'm telling you, that was a great experience. And I think the other experience I have was we did a horror escape room kind of thing. And I'm telling you, man, I'm not a horror fan. I know you're a horror fan, Cabbage. I know you're a big time horror fan. I hate horror movies, like especially when it's like Japanese stuff or Thai stuff or just Asian stuff in general. Like that shit freaks me out, man. Like the ladies with the black hair and stuff. That shit put me like in nightmare mode for like weeks. But anyways, my fiance don't mind those things, so she wanted me to do it, and I wasn't gonna say no. I'm not gonna lie. So we did this escape room. It's a virtual escape room, and we are tied to a wheelchair. This is scary. Like you're tied to a wheelchair where you cannot move other than your hand. Like you are sitting in this chair, and you can control it with your hand, like your remote control of your wheelchair. In the other hand, you have a flashlight. And the idea was we were trapped in this hospital, and there's all these people doing like torture things and gutting people. And then we have to kind of try to escape out of the hospital, if you will. And I can't do anything. I can't use my hands. So there'd be like all these like fucked up shit dudes with like bloodied faces and shit. They're like in your face. Like, this is virtual reality, right? They're like in your face and like scaring you. And I'm over here screaming like crazy. And there's an emergency switch button. If you hit the emergency switch button, they'll shut the game off like instantaneously. I refuse to do that. And then at first, she and I were like together, like, trying to escape together. And then of course the game divides you up, and now we're in different parts of the hospital and we're trying to escape. And then we can communicate with each other because we have a headset. And I had to go down this corridor. It was like freaky as crap, right? And she had to read me clues from her end because she has the map in front of her, and she's reading me and telling me where to go. And in the meantime, I'm like scared shitless. I'm like here, like my heart is pumping like 200 heartbeats a second, and I'm like trying to get to where I'm supposed to go, listening to her in the headset and trying to ignore all this visual stimulation that's going on. At the end we did end up beating it, and for me, like I was pretty scared. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like those type of things. But I did it for the sake of love. Anyways, long story short, it was a great experience. Like that whole building was based off of like escape rooms, virtual reality stuff, video games. And we got to play a lot of like light year ahead of the United States technology in terms of gaming. Like we actually did Mario Kart, in which we were stationed in a Mario Kart, right? And it's virtual reality. You put on your goggles, and then you're actually playing Mario Kart like virtually, and then like you can like use your hand to grab things in the air, but then you grab like hammers, and then you can smash the hammers in the game. You see it happen, but you have to do it with your hands to do the motions. And like I'm sitting here smashing people with this giant hammer, or I'm taking a shell and I'm like throwing it and things like that. I was like, and I love Mario Kart. Like, I was like, dude, this is like the life, man. Japan is like, seriously, like Japan is like love sometimes, I feel like. And I think the last thing I did was Dragon Ball. Like I got to attach virtual reality things to my face, obviously. And then these like sensors in my hand, and I'm supposed to train in the Dragon Ball world to literally do exactly what the Dragon Ball people are doing. At the end, I had to fight. I think I picked Gogeta as or Vegeta as my trainer, and I had to fight. I think I had to fight Goku, and I had to actually do the Kamehameha like with my hand. Oh my God, I'm telling you, man, like. If you're not a nerd, Japan will easily make you a nerd. Like seriously, that's the kind of shit that like us nerds love. You know, we will probably spend millions of dollars on that stuff if we're given the opportunity to do so. All right, enough rambling though. Anyways, long story short, I love Japan. We were supposed to go to Osaka last year, 2020, but the pandemic hit. And we couldn't go, so a little bit sad about that. But hopefully, once I get my vaccine, she already got hers. I'm looking to get my vaccine, and if Japan opens up, we'll be there. We'll be there. So here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, for the sake of streaming purposes, generally speaking, I like to attack Vital Lucon. You love to talk. I'm sorry, Vital. First off, Happy New Year. And welcome to the stream. Yes. When I go crazy, Vital, like I talk way too much. My fiance say that is like my double-edged sword. Like sometimes when I talk a lot, it's good. But sometimes when I talk too much, it can be a little overbearing. But when I get excited about something, oh man, I won't be quiet till the story is finished. Anyway, so for this stream, I'm going to attack Masa because it's the leader and it's streaming, and I don't care if I win and lose. So let's go for it. Glad you enjoy your visit. Come again. Yes, Cabbage, I'm telling you, man, like if I could go to Japan once a year, twice a year, I would do it. And that was our plan originally. Originally, we were going to go to Japan once a year because my fiance loves Japanese food. She loves sushi. And I think we're getting sushi for Valentine's Day. Originally, I was gonna make sushi for her, but it's a little tough. Like where we live is a little bit tougher to do. Like that was our plan. Once a year, 2 trips. One to Japan, and the second one we go to somewhere, and just okay. I think I'm getting crushed here. This heal isn't going to be enough to kill anything. Unless I kill Sakura right here. Okay, I got Sakura. Does she have a full life? So it looks like this is going to be a trade. That's a lot of dodge though. How does he have so much dodge? Never mind, they got me. They got me good here. Not dead? Okay, they got me good. I got a little overconfident, and I thought I could beat them. They were too fast in that fight. Like, you see that? They moved way too fast to me. Here's the thing, right? This team should be killed now because essentially I made them waste all of their skills. It's a good way to test your team, by the way. It is what it is. I got crushed, and that was a short-lived fight. But I think the mistake really is the fact that there is no mistake. They just have better stuff than I do, and they're faster. We can at least see what they're using. So, if you observe this, he does have some good evasion. So this is an evasion combo. I probably should have looked at their damn cards, huh? That was a bad idea. I don't have any guaranteed hits on my team. So that was a mistake. So folks, don't make that mistake. I should be able to kill this team though. They're not a dodgy team because generally speaking, I have no issues fighting Warrior of Light with Kane. And by the way, the only reason I did what I did was because we have a lot of members that haven't attacked, and there really aren't a whole lot of people left. So anyways, I got destroyed by evasion on that one, and I probably should have looked at their card. I wouldn't really attack that team if I saw they had evasion. And I think this is where units like Glacial will come in handy, because I could probably use her in those type of situations, but I knew what I was going into, but I did it anyways. And a loss is a loss, not a big deal. Okay. So let's see here. I'm trying to work on some situations on this account, because this raid essentially is over and I'm not gonna be able to do a whole lot. But I do want to finish Frederica, because that's a unit that essentially is free, right? You get 5 shards from the shop every single day, so you could be gaining a lot of shards. You can essentially earn 7 shards a day, and she should be an easy, fast build over time. She was one of the first units I got, and I never worked on her. No. Was she? No, she wasn't one of the first units. I got Niv, so I need to work on her here. And kind of like, I'm really lacking in lightning, surprisingly, because I've been relying on Mr. Sid too much. Got Salir, so I think that's that. And then Sakura's not here, so I don't have to worry too much about her not getting her, and so I'm not going to build her. Recent additions were Victoria, which I got all the shards now. Ayaka was already done, right? I just need to work on it. Miranda, I just finished. So this one I'm looking forward to using because it raises attack magic and slash attack, which is going to go really well with Howlet. I think that's going to be a great addition for Howlet. So yeah, that's it. Okay, not much there. I mean, everything else is just... When I was telling you guys all those stories, my mouth is like really dry out right now. Max Cahal, I wish. I'm not really a fan of that unit, but I guess I will have to build her. EX shards? Wait, are the friend medals, or I thought it was the, what do you call it, soul medals? Let's farm. I did all this, and I think I am at 62. So I only need 1. I don't need to farm that. So I think it's always the safest bet when I stream, farm books. Everybody needs books. Do people in the chat have a preference? Do you guys want to farm the first one or the second one? Any preferences? And then we can just hang out. For the rest of the stream, we can just chill. So EX units get their shards added to the friend shop once the month they appeared in is over. Really? Huh, so I should be just hoarding my friend medals then, huh? Instead of building Frederica, even though Frederica would be still good. Let's do armor then, all right. So let's farm, and then we can just chat about whatever you guys want to chat about, because everything I wanted to say, it's already said. Brutal levels, they have a lot. And I don't think it's really the HP that's going to be an issue. I think it's more like their defense, their spirit, and their resistances are much higher. So if you're just lacking the damage, it's going to be a very long grind to kill the Brutal on your own. Yeah, it's all about the resistances and the defensive stats. And a lot of times they have, what do you call it? A lot of times they give them more, like, more resistance to like crowd control effects. Like, status ailments, like if they cannot be slept or stunned or something like that. It just makes the fights very draggy, and you have to kind of rely on like tanks. I wouldn't worry too much about it, Zen. You just have to like pace yourself. A game like this, it really tests your patience. You don't need to like overthink it, you know. Just think about what you want to do in the game. What do you hope to accomplish? Like what units you should be working on, what vision cards you should be working on, what equipment do you plan on farming, you know. And you don't need to farm everything, right? The key thing is don't burn yourself out. This game is a test of it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon for sure. Cannot lower the resistance. It's pretty hard. It is. If you're saying like decrease the enemy resistance, yeah. They have high resistance against a lot of things. The brutal challenges are becoming very, very challenging indeed. I mean, I kind of got what I wished for, right? I asked for more content that we can manual rather than auto farm, so it's too easy to try to do everything. It really is. It's very overbearing and it's very overwhelming. Like, you know, the only thing I really would tell beginning players nowadays is go for specific compositions. Like go for a magic composition, go for gunner composition, go for slashing composition, like as your first team. Like I don't mean like everybody on your team are slash or magic. I just mean try to really pick certain units that you really like, figure out what their attack types are, and then see if you can find other units that share the same. So this way, when you're farming for something, you're going to be able to cover like multiple units with your gear sets and with your vision cards. This way you're able to kind of defeat a lot of the strong content in the game, hard content in the game, without having to waste too much time, if you will, farming different things. Like if you're farming for spear, and then you're farming for a rod, and then you're farming for a sword, you're not gonna get them finished because the materials required to craft them is such a high demand on this game. Like this game demands it, that it's gonna be very hard to do. Like I tell my fiance, like, you know, if you don't want to farm the stuff, just get the rare equipment or the SR equipment, because they don't have usually they don't have like the negative penalization on the equipment, and you're losing like attack or you're losing defense stats by just a little bit. So, you know, you can build the MR and the UR over time. You know what I mean? As a beginning player, you're not going to be competing in the high end stuff anyways. So your goal is to try to clear PvE content so you can gain more stuff to make your account stronger. That's what I'm learning anyways. Like if I was to start all over again, that's what I would do. I would probably just build some rare units or some SR units. I mean equipment, sorry, not units. Actually, yeah, I guess you could build equipments too, because now we got those fragments of thought for the lower rarity units. I have to say though, I want to do more summons in the future. I really do, but it's gonna be, seems like it's gonna be harder and harder for me to do unless I start opening up the wallet big time. Like Zen, if you have Sakura, yeah, it's a good time to invest in many of the attackers in this game that are magic. Like Mediana, Ayaka, Kidofei, Howlet, Skullhall, Salir. A lot of those units are just, they're really good. You can take them almost anywhere. And they do good work. You know, they can put in a lot of work for your account. I think physical attackers, they generally seem to be weaker to magic attackers. So in that sense, it's like you're kind of like getting A little bit more bang for your buck if you went the magic route. The only challenge for Magic Team would be getting a lot of the Thamasas. I think that's a little challenge because it's raid. You know, it's, I mean, like, raiding, I don't mind it, to be honest, I think. No, you're right, Cabbage, I don't. Like, I realize that I have, like, before you hopped in, there's, like, I'm only missing Sakura right now. That's kind of sad if you think about it. Like, it's kind of sad that I actually have every unit when I've been telling folks that this game is not a hero collector. It's not Pokemon, but I actually have every unit. But I don't plan on building every unit. That seems like it's way too much work. Way too much work. I agree. Everybody makes summon videos. Like right now, essentially, War of the Vision is summon videos. Save or summon videos. Are units worth it? Are equipment worth it? Or there are people out there just making arena videos. Right? That's it. That's pretty much all there is. What I'm thinking about doing is making review videos. Because review videos is always something that people actually can go back on. Right? And maybe even make update review videos. Like for example, I would like to make an update review video of, say, what is that one unit that I really love? What's that little time mage? What's that little time mage name? Phoebe. Like I made a video on Phoebe. I would like to make another review video on Phoebe. Yes, you're right, Cabbage. I think what's her name? What's his name? Mysidia Gaming, he's gonna be like, after he makes the video of should you save or should you summon video on the unit that comes out, then he's gonna say, should you make take the EX job or should you not take the I better get on that. Maybe I need to corner that market, Cabbage. I need to corner that market on global, huh? But I would like to make, I'm trying to think of the terminology. I would like to make it called retrospective reviews. I would like to go back and start reviewing units that people like no longer either care about or think about and try to bring them to the forefront. No point in watching someone rank 130 doing content with tools that 90% of people can't afford. Seeing people do MR only unit or vision control is way more entertaining. I mean, that's fair. But I think either way, like either side you're taking, like whether you choose to see someone who do high-end content with, you know, a lot of spending or someone who completely free to play, I don't think it's wrong with either one. But I think for the most part though, there's going to be very rare that someone is going to actually just do free to play coverage, because it's going to be, it takes an awful long time in this game to create content if you're only covering like things, right? Because if you're new to the channel or if you're not new to the channel, I always emphasize that time is your most valuable resource, and I think it makes sense. But the problem with this game is, how do you spend less time and still get like units that you can review? You can't. You have to spend money. Unfortunately, that's how the game is designed. So in a situation where Diggs is spending, you know, lots of cash, and he's able to review these videos within like a week of them just coming out on the banner, that's the only really way to do it. You know, you can't not do it. Like it's impossible for me to do it without spending money. That's just the facts. Unless people are willing to see the review weeks later, and that's what it is. Yes, I think that is a great idea, Cabbage. Like, just kind of like go through my account and take a look at some of my older units that I built for a purpose in mind back in the days, you know, a few months ago, and review them in the light of what's going on and see if they can fit. I don't need to review every single one, just the ones I like, and I think that makes more sense. Yes, Ryan. I think Cabbage is already kind of doing that. Hey, every square. Thank you. Happy New Year to you, and the guild, by the way. Shout out to the guild. Yeah, I think I don't honestly. I think I don't know a whole lot about EX, right? And we really don't know if anything's going to be changing in terms of on the global. I'm not asking for any changes. I just hope that the implementation of EX on global is a smooth transition. I think that's the only thing I really ask for. But you know, I do have to unfortunately look at essentially what other people are doing. Like Cabbage obviously has done a lot of coverage on EX gaming, and then I think Umbra, maybe, I don't even know if he does coverage in terms of what unit he's building to EX. But I'll probably have to go and look at a lot of the Japanese YouTuber stuff, and then go on the different websites and do a little research in terms of, you know, which units are like, you know, good for what, right? And I think that's where the subjectivity, if that's the right word, comes in. Like, you have to figure out from your own personal bias, how is this unit going to be impactful to the community, and how you're projecting that unit to be having a large impact on people's accounts. Like, if I'm gonna say, yeah, build this unit because this unit looks cool, nobody cares. You know, I think nobody cares about that. They want to see, wait, why is this unit good? Why am I going to be building this unit? And is this unit going to help me, you know, accomplishing things? And I think that's going to be kind of like dependent on the current meta or the current gaming situation and what it calls for. But I think time mages like Phoebe, I think Phoebe is always going to be a great unit, right? There's what, more time mages now? There's like a lot of time mages. But I think time mage is always a worthy investment. I think you can't really go wrong with time mage. It'd be cool to see a 99x3 versus a 120x3. Yes, that's a great idea, man. That's a great idea. And I'm sorry, I like to use man a lot, so I apologize. It's not an intentional to do any of that, oh my gosh, that other stuff. But, you know, if I say things like man or whatever, and it so happens that someone is a female, I apologize ahead. You know, it's just a natural saying that I've grown up accustomed to, so. I apologize if I'm assuming things. I don't assume anything. I have to be very PC about certain shit. Not because I feel like I have to, but it's just because I feel like it's respectful, right? It is what it is. I learn to adapt to life. Yes, I would love to see some updated Whisper stuff. Like a Whisper 120, essentially, like, you can't really go any more on resistances. You can go more on HP. You can go maybe hit harder with Whisper, but essentially, no matter how much damage enemies do, your resistance once it hits 100 is good, right? Once your resistance hits a 100, it's just down to 1 damage. You are staying late tonight, Nash? Well, the thing is, Alpha, like, I've learned that streaming at 10 p.m. my time is the best, because there's a lot of folks that watches my stuff from the other side of the planet. And I think if I do 10 p.m. my time, which is only 7 p.m. Pacific time, like in California, and was it 8 or 9 in Texas and things like that, I can like probably have the highest peak in terms of people watching. But like personally, I usually stay up fairly late on Fridays because sometimes I work on Saturdays. This week I'm only working Sunday, and then next week Sunday as well. So therefore, I don't need to stay up all night. But generally speaking, since I work Sunday, I would at least try to stay up till like reset time for the game, and then I usually go to bed. I work night shift, so it kind of sucks. I'm in Eastern Standard Time Zone in the United States, so that's Florida. So right now it will be 11:51 p.m. But usually, like, I'm learning that as I'm getting older, like, sleeping early is better for my body. Sleeping late, it wreaks havoc on my body fat. Like, I'm not a kid anymore, you know, I'm not in my 20s. Like, I would love to stay up all night every day, but it's harder to do for me. But here's the thing, right? Like on Monday, we went to sign up for a gym, and this is like one of those bougie gyms. Are you playing War Division at work? I'm not at work. I'm at home. It depends. When I work, I make sure I get all my work done, and then when I'm sitting there like charting things, then I will farm. I just have my phone on and I will farm. But for those of you who don't know what I do, I'm a nurse. I work in a hospital. So when you're working, it's a lot of time I'm busy running around, you know, from room to room, you know, caring for them, whatever it is, you know. And so a lot of times I can't sit down. But when I do sit down, that's on that topic of why this game needs to have a lot of auto farming. Well, you know, in gaming, you don't want to be sitting there doing this all night. You don't want to be doing this all night because then people will be like, what are you doing? But sometimes when I have downtime, like when I'm done with all my work and I'm caught up, I will play on my phone. And it's not disrespectful to work because I already got my work done, and I make sure that my coworkers have their stuff done, so that for everyone's kind of like on a downtime. I mean, respectfully speaking, you shouldn't be playing on games, right? But a lot of times I just have it on auto farm, and I just set it in the corner, and then, you know, I'm not hurting anybody when it's on auto farm, and there's an advantage right there why auto farming is great for games like this. It's kind of like, you know, like who can in their rightful mind nowadays literally sit down and play games, like, you know, actually play the game all the time. It just seems like there's so much stuff you want to do in life, you know what I mean? Like at the same time. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate the shout out for that. It's not an easy job. It's very taxing on your body, and working night shift just makes things worse. But day shift is a lot worse, in my opinion, because then you're working with all the other doctors, and then you're working with the other disciplines like physical therapy, you know, like surgical teams. You're working like trying to get the kids down to like surgical. You gotta get them all ready, and then you gotta like deal with the parents because they're all awake, and you gotta deal with angry people sometimes. So day shift is like it's hard in a different way, right? You're working with people. It's like you're more trying to micromanaging people. Whereas night shift, you're more actually doing actual care. You know, you're actually doing actual bedside care to patients, you know, giving them their medicine, you get to know them better, and then it's a great time to kind of practice some of the little hacks that I use in my work. Like I do a lot of hacks, and in turn, using those skills that I gain along the way, I've gained trust of parents, and I try to really enforce the idea of making sure that I don't wake anybody up when I'm like doing my work throughout the night. And I think a lot of parents appreciate that fact. Like, you know, they appreciate the fact that I'm doing the work, but not, you know, waking people up. Sometimes when an alarm goes off, like on an IV pole, like, you know, sometimes when the fluid is running low, I personally set timers on almost everything that I do. So I try to catch them before the machine starts to alarm. But I noticed that a lot of nurses, they just let the alarm go. You know, they just kind of go off, and then it wakes up the whole room, and, you know, it's kind of an annoyance or a hindrance for a lot of parents. But at the same token, it is also understandable universally that, you know, when you go to a hospital, you don't really expect a lot of sleep, right? But when I first started working as a nurse, I was working with orthopedics, you know, kids who suffer a lot of fractures and requiring surgery. So rest is important to healing, right? So that's why I developed my systems to make sure that a lot of the alarms don't go off, or I'm not unnecessarily waking up my patients, so that they can actually get some sleep, hopefully, and kind of recover faster. And, you know, I work with kids, so generally speaking, kids recover way faster than adults. They're all like baby Wolverines, you know what I mean? Like the baby Wolverine from Marvel. I'm talking about their healing factor is so high compared to like a lot of us in our 30s and 40s or whatever, and you know, our healing aren't that great. So generally speaking, they tend to bounce back a lot faster than adults. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to go do adult care, to be honest. Managing people is a whole different skill set. It really is. It really is. It's like a lot of politics. You know, it's politics involved. And it's a different set of skills you got to employ when you're working in the day shift compared to night shift. What do you think about Valentine's there? Oh my goodness. Vital, my only thing I could say is, the only thing I can say to all that, Vital, is this stream is being recorded on YouTube. So if you want to, I did kind of dive into some heavy stuff, right? Some heavy stuff. I definitely encourage you to go back and fast forward the stream to an hour into the stream, and then you can watch all of that, how I feel about it. You can rewatch it for sure. I don't want to sound disrespectful to you because I want to answer your question, but if you get me started again, I won't be shutting the stream off till about like 1 a.m. I promise, because it's a pretty you know, it's a pretty crazy topic, to be honest. It's kind of surprising how that one little thing can trigger so much. But yes, I think a lot of us got involved in that conversation, and that's right around the time when Cabbage actually joined, so it was pretty heavy. We're waiting on you, Alpha. Anytime you're ready to join, buddy. Yeah, I think it's been a hot topic. I think as content creators, I think people need to address the issue, but not necessarily like stir the hornet's nest, you know? Hey man, why you gotta ruin it, man? I was gonna surprise him with the cosplay, but hey. Anyways, yes, I agree. Like, here's the thing. Here's one thing I learned about. Sorry, Cassius, Phenom. We were just waiting for Alpha. We're gonna roll again. You can always rely on second. That's a nice what's the word? That's a nice innuendo you threw in there. It's a hot topic. Oh, really? Umbra released a video? I didn't even see it. I haven't seen it yet. I should go watch it now and see what he thinks. But I was saying, like, yes, working with children is very interesting, because most of the time the kids literally say what's on their mind, right? There's no hidden agendas with children. They just say what's on their mind. But one thing about working with children in the medical field is that you also have to deal with the parents. So essentially, it's you're working with the parents, and then you're working with the child, right? And then if you're working in the daytime, then you're working with the parents, then you're working with the child, and then you're working with literally everyone involved in the hospital. So, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't have anything against Umber Rays. I think he just says what he feels like. And as I'm learning, that's a double-edged sword, right? In the internet, like, once you let your emotions go and you kind of just say whatever you want to say, you just have to kind of like deal with the repercussions, good or bad. And that's what it is. Do react. Oh, you're saying I should do a reaction video to Umber Rays' video. A lot of people do that, actually. That's definitely a thing. I really should do a reaction video to Final Fantasy XIV's most recent we'll do this quick run and you can come back, Ryan. We'll wait for you. What I probably should do a reaction video to the Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV. What is it called? Heaven's Ward? Is it Heaven's Ward? Final Fantasy XIV expansion pack that's coming up soon. I'm not even. The thing is, I'm not deep into the game right now. Like, I haven't played in like several days. and I want to play it, but it's like I feel like I have to get into the mood to play MMOs, you know? It's like mobile gaming, you can just log in anywhere, anytime, and there's no like this dragged out process. Yeah, sorry, Endwalker, my bad. It's Endwalker. Heaven's Ward was the last one, right? Yeah. Endwalker. Blah 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 blah. Second, you're like my guy that makes sure that I get everything right guy, man. Yes, it's called Endwalker. Actually, that was a pretty good trailer. I have to admit, the trailer was pretty exceptional. All I can say is I have no idea what's going on. And that's essentially my reaction. If you just sit here and cut and paste this, that's my reaction. I have no idea what's going on, but damn it, the graphic looks good and everything looks promising. Even though I'm nowhere near end game, so I have no idea what is actually going on. But I'm always told that the story gets much better in the future, and I'm still in trial mode, man. I think I'm like level 17. I wanted to actually do a video where I do my first dungeon run, but I don't even know how to get to the first dungeon, so but I like what I do. Honestly, I just can't imagine myself doing it forever. Oh, right. Heaven's Ward is where it ends. Shadowbringer. No, I don't even get Shadowbringers, though. I think Heaven's Ward and then Shadowbringers, right? So I have to start paying for Shadowbringers. So the smart way is probably keep playing my free trial, and then when Endwalker comes out, I can just buy that, and it should include Shadowbringers and everything else. That would be good. You know, at my age, I was thinking, if I decided that I don't want to do nursing anymore and I want to do a full-time streamer, that would probably be like, I thought about doing it. I really thought about doing it, but I'm just thinking to myself, it's a very tough line of work to be a full-time streamer, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough. Like, it's gonna take years and a lot of different work to get to making lots of money, you know? Really? Wow, you got a whole family playing that game. Oh, I see. That's a great way for them to do that they're making expansion packs free as new ones come out. I play on Leviathan. That's my server. The other day I logged on, it was like jam-packed full of players. So the game is very active. And also, I had a little, what do you call it? I had the queue. There was like 30 people ahead of me. No, 20 people ahead of me when I queued. I was like, wow, really? It's a great game though. Like, I feel like it's a strong game. Just the fact that you don't need to re-roll a character to play a class, to me, that's enough to sucker me in, you know? When I decided I want to play the game, I didn't even know that they had that option. I thought that was amazing. Like, that's something every MMO should be doing. Because that's a great way for the company to make money, because they'll be like, sure, if you want to switch to a different skin of your character, just pay $5, right? $5 times 100, that's $500. Easy money. They don't even have to do anything. If I would start branding myself, right, they're like, I'm creating so many nicknames for myself. Essentially, there are so many nicknames that if I create merchandise and people buy merchandise like a t-shirt, I have so many like little catchphrases and things like that to make t-shirts. I was thinking of creating like potatoes. Maybe not necessarily potato. I don't know if I really want to create a character altogether, but maybe having like an animated potato of some kind of design or something will make a lot of sense on this channel. I also want to like do some research about like when I stream, like there's more engagement with the viewer base. Like if you guys vote for something, or maybe like implement that little gambling system. And I think there's like these add-ons or something you could do. Like for example, if I'm doing a summon live, which essentially would probably be the future, right? Every time I summon, it will have to be live. And then like when I summon, then you guys can vote like if I'm gonna get it or not, or what unit am I gonna be getting, or because like earlier when you guys were watching me summon, you guys saw you were putting money down for you guys were putting money down on like the first character I was gonna get was Odoa, right? I think Ryan put his money on that, and lo and behold, Odoa showed up first. Thick thighs saves lives is a cool t-shirt. Yeah, I think thick thighs save lives is a great one. If the channel can get members joined. See, I don't know anything about that. I don't even know what that means. Like why is YouTube doing that? Like you can join a channel as a member? What does that mean? Like what am I offering to you guys? Like what exactly are people offering? Like I never understood about Patreon either. Like I mean, I know what Patreon is, but why is there Patreon for like people creating content for something? Like if you're joining and you pay like what, $5 subscriptions? Like what are you getting in return? I don't even know. I got to do a lot of research on shit like that. I don't know anything about it, you know. Oh yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? That wasn't, look, I know some people got irritated because I was doing so much streaming. But that was raw emotions. Like that was legitimate raw emotions, Vital. Like no problem, we can wait. I noticed that we've been crashing a lot on emulator. The thing is, like, I haven't gotten anything good in such a long time from all my summons. And that's why I'm developing the mentality that I don't really care for summoning things anymore. Like, if I honestly just sat there and kept buying every single shard for Niv, like, I would already have Niv 99, like, the day I got her. But instead, I decided to spend, what, like 10K, 8K, whatever it was, to summon for her. That's right there. That's 10K you could have just used and bought tons of shards of her. I don't know anything about YouTube streaming monetization either. Ryan, I'll be honest, I don't know much. I'm not there, so I don't think about it. But when I get there, you know, I'll start maybe like, you know, doing things differently, but not to the point where I'm selling out for anything specific. Like, I'm not going to change what I do, right? Right now, I'm doing things because I enjoy doing it. And the other day, I had a conversation with my fiance, and I told her, I said, should I like just give up on the channel because it's not where it should be? Sort of, in a way, like maybe my expectations were too high or something. Or what is it about me that either people dislike or like, right? I gotta figure that out. And if it's something not going the way I think it should be going, then instead of blaming anyone else, I need to figure out, I need to look inward and be like, well, what the hell is wrong with me? I need to fix me. Hey Zen, hey, listen, I'm always here on Fridays. And then of course, there are tons of content creators. Feel free to get engaged with everyone, you know, just welcome to the community. It's a great community. Hope you hang around, hope you stay. And I hope you chime in with your ideas. Right? I feel like that's the beauty of this community. You know, I don't ever shun on people's ideas unless they're being a douche. I mean, that's first and foremost. If you're a douche, you don't belong here. But, you know, if you enjoy the game, just... Oh, by the way, Zen, there's also Discord. You can join for more information if you're into that kind of stuff. If you go to any of my videos, I have all my Discords linked. Feel free to join. Right, see, that's the thing, right, Cabbage? Like, I feel like my growth rate is not too bad. It's just, there are moments where I see no growth, and I do a lot of outside work. You know what I mean? Like, I watch a lot of videos, I read a lot of articles, I do my due diligence when it comes to when you're really into something, right? You're supposed to do your homework. That's how you get ahead in life. Every moment not spent doing what you should be doing to get ahead, you're losing, right? That's something I've learned recently in the sense of applying that logic to everything. And I think a lot of it has to do with the idea that I did reach a patch where, like, a lot of people already made up their mind about me. They made their judgment on me, and that's it. They never look back. And I think that's the thing. Some people don't give you second chances as a content creator, right? Some people like you for whatever reason is that they like you and they stick with it, or they simply walk away. I'm okay with people walking away if they don't enjoy who I am. I can't do anything about that. But what I'm not okay with is if I'm not putting in the right amount of work, the right amount of effort. And sometimes I have to be honest. I realize I'm not doing this as a full-time job. And that's what's kind of irritating me. Like, I feel like if this is start taking over my life and is affecting my relationship with friends, family, and my fiance, then I will have to walk away. I can't choose this over what I do with other things. But sometimes I feel like it's a job, you know? I feel like my goal is not to monetize. That's never been my goal. I said that from day one. That's not my goal. My goal is to have fun. That's it. Yes, Zen. I have everything matched other than the 1K subs. Like, I have way more than 4K hours watched. And so far, all my content has been clean. There's no, like, anything extraordinary. But, you know, I'm just thinking to myself, right? Like, 1K, by the way, is not my main goal. Like, getting 1K subscriber is the big milestone, right? That's ultimately the milestone. I think if you care about YouTubing, whatever, is everyone want to reach there. But I realize that's not my goal. That never has been my goal. My goal is to enjoy what I do. Everything else just falls into place. You could try cornering the light spinner market. I think you're right. I think people who spend, they just spend, right? Whatever's there to shave time, they would just do it. I probably should do a light spenders corner. I should probably come up with some kind of funny name for it or something, you know, and then kind of brainstorm that idea. I'm getting a lot of ideas. Don't get me wrong. A lot of you folks have been giving me some really good ideas. Someone actually suggested a topic of conversation for the collaboration stream. I thought about that, so. It is, Ryan. Actually, I'm surprised that is actually taking 1K to reach, which is crazy. I think 500 should have been the goal, you know. Yes, I think Cabbage, I think you're right. Like, if I'm start acting specifically for YouTube, then I'm missing the reason why I'm doing this. Like, I stream because I love streaming. This is crazy. I love streaming because this is my way of socializing with my current lifestyle, right? This is unfortunately the best I can do. And I really enjoy it. Having other folks talking to me and listening to me, it makes me happy, you know? Do you have to go? Is that what it is? You have to go? Oh, never mind. You're asking, oh, the JP live stream. So it's kind of like, the way I look at it is like, I want to hit 1K subscriber because I really want to have access to that community board. Because like, for example, today, I couldn't upload a video, but I couldn't communicate, right? Not everybody is on Instagram. So even if I posted that, it only affects like 5 people, 10 people, maybe 50 people. You know, having a channel that has supposedly 900 plus subscribers, let's say 900 of those people are like people who actively do things. Then I have to try to reach that community to make sure that, you know, I'm keeping them up to date, right? And unfortunately, as a content creator, I do have to take on responsibilities. So that was one of my main goals. Hitting 1K will essentially allow me to start thinking about monetizing, and then of course have that community to communicate with people. And so Garland, yeah, Garland will be interesting. You can do Discord talks. What do you mean I can do Discord talks? I thought about doing a podcast, but podcasts, generally speaking, are not very popular. Podcasts are definitely not very popular. Oh, if they're rerunning Warrior of Light, are they gonna do a new character? Garland would be interesting, but I bet you $20, Ryan. Garland is gonna be a premium unit, right? Garland's gonna be a premium unit, and essentially is gonna cost 2x. I thought Warrior of Light was not anti-Kayn, because Kayn just kills Warrior of Light right now. I think Final Fantasy Tactics has to get a rerun because of the shards. And it's a great opportunity for them to give us some new units for Tactics. I'm thinking of the same thing. If Garland is premium, I would have to say blah. I have to say thumbs down. Yeah, Kayn has been so far just piercing Warrior of Light to death, so they need to build up Warrior of Light to really like be anti-piercing or something. So share my audio with a couple of interested visitors and talk about stuff. But if I was to do that, essentially it would just be podcasting. Yeah, if they don't make units with weaknesses, then this game will be overrun with those units. Like honestly, like I think Orlando already hits super hard. Like he can hit 9999 without EX already. So just imagine EX Orlando hitting water units for like what, 15k? What kind of units can survive 15k? And then Agrias is already ultra annoying in this game. People keep saying Agrias is easily countered with, you know, One Punch Man and Luartha. I mean, sure, I have no doubts about her dying to them, but Agria's goal isn't to just take a couple of hits. Her goal is to annoy the hell out of you with her debuffs and spams and heavy damage taunting spell. And I think if you target if you make your Agrias strong against like missiles and strike, she's still OP, you know? Like, I don't like to use the word OP. It sounds lame, but she's still very, very strong. I think she's definitely one of the strongest, if not the strongest out of FFT. I still think Orlando is going to be crazy good if they give him more powerful skills for EX. And I think Ramza sucks. I think he still sucks in certain regards. Like, he's good in certain regards, but for most of the time, I don't really think he's that great anymore. Like, he dipped so hard. Like, he plummeted from a cliff. And of course, Mustadio, I think they need to kind of maybe buff him a little bit, because I love him to death, but he's not doing anything in this game, to be honest. For me, he's not doing anything. And then Delita, like, he's already really, really good. I think Delita is really, really good. Maybe not the magic build, and that's not like a dig at digs or anything. It's just, I don't think magic is viable. Maybe later on it could be viable, but maybe getting him at 70 faith I think is good, because I have mine at 70 faith, and sometimes getting a stop or disable, it's good. I mean, I'm sorry. I know I can't take it back, so I'm going to rephrase it. I think I think Ramza has kind of fallen off a little bit. Like, I've seen good Ramzas back in the days, but with so much like resistances out there, like, he doesn't put a dent anymore. Like, he's a bruiser. I agree with that. He's a bruiser. His supporting is very, very good, but I think there are perhaps other units that can do better. And he's like one of those guys that, like, doesn't do things well, but he does a lot of things okay, right? Like, I essentially stopped using him. I don't use him at all anymore. I have tanks that can tank better than him. I have bruisers that can bruise better than him. And I have support that can support better than him. So it's kind of like, I really enjoy Ramza, but I wish he didn't plummet. Like, I really feel like he plummeted. You know? I think Cecil does more damage than Ramza, though. Like, he's like, yeah, exactly. I think Nalhar hit it in the head. Like, he seems too balanced. Like, he seems like he doesn't want to excel at anything that you want him to excel at. He just kind of like a perfect Swiss Army knife. Like, there's no branches of him that you want to go down the path of. Like, I used to use him as a tank. It was him, Orlando. It was him, Orlando, essentially. And whoever else I want to throw in there. And I would do really well, right? I would do really great, because he was great at tanking, absorbing a couple of hits, while Orlando just slice and dice everybody. But now it's like, I have to actually think about making sure my team is well balanced. I know that's kooky talk, but I guess we all strive to try to find that balance. That wouldn't be a bad idea, Christopher, at all. Like, that, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's a great idea. They do that banner once in a while. Like, when we get the tower, they give us the extra banners. I got to get Ramza the EX if there will be. I mean, of course, Ramza is going to get the EX treatment. But then it kind of makes you wonder, like, what direction are they going to take Ramza's EX, right? Do they want him to be a better tank? Because if they essentially just increase everything stat-wise, so essentially he just becomes a better Swiss Army knife, then what will be the reason why I'm pushing so hard to make him my EX unit over, say, Orlando or Agrius, or even Delita? Like, I know, like, Cabbage doesn't really enjoy Orlando, but to be fair, there's a lot of people who enjoy Orlando, right? But the thing is, Orlando just straight up does what he does. He just deals damage, and his damage can be super high. Like, honestly, I would abandon Orlando a long time ago. But they released that one card, that Agarion card, or a oh my god, can't pronounce the stupid word, but the robot guy, the robot vision card, that essentially just I take him wherever I can with him with that card. He just deals tons of damage. Like today I did like, before linking I did like 7 or 9k to the Siren. I was like, what? 7 or 9k flat out. Imagine if it's like, it doesn't take very much to chain to get him to 99999, and then of course you use the extension of damage, and then you're like doing 12k, 14k, 13k, something like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Ramza. Like, he was one of my favorite units, but I feel like they really kind of just ignored him somewhat. Like Titus is amazing, right? Titus is amazing. Like, making him crit guy, he's great. And that's what a main title character should be. I feel like Ramza was great for his time, but he's one of those first banner units that seem to fall off a little bit harder than, say, his counterparts. And that's not a knock on the game designers. It's just the fact that, you know, he's not going to be in the meta anytime soon. Like, I fight him quite a bit in arena because a lot of people are trying to use the light teams. I don't even get scared. He does not enough damage to my Kayn, where like as soon as Kayn approaches Ramza, it's essentially over. It's like one shot, boom, Ramza goes away. Like, so he's losing the idea of being a bruiser. And if he was the tank, he doesn't have enough like resistances to really like concentrate on whether you want to be a magic tank or you want to be a physical tank. You would think you want to be a magical tank, but he still dies one shot to magic dealers. So I'm hoping they do buff him, like in terms of 120. I'm definitely a little bit like, you know, it has my attention once they announce that, of course. I hope they make him badass. But I think it's fair that they don't make him or any main character super powerful, because then essentially everyone would just be playing with the main characters, right? Like, I think that's a great example. Thancred seems to have fallen off like big time. Like, he can do some damage, but man, he doesn't do anything. Well, I think that's a great thing about you, Cabbage, is the fact that you want to prove the fact that you can take that one, I guess people like to label them ugly duckling, and turn that ugly duckling into a beautiful swan. And that's the mentality that you have that makes a lot of people enjoy your stuff, myself included. I think so too. I think Thancred needs some sort of change. Like, that's fine if they don't give him ultimate, but maybe like give him something that's completely unique, right? You know, we have seen so many units that have the I'm gonna hit you and then get in front of your face move. Like, almost everybody has that move now. That move is getting old. What they need to do is have Thancred have the ability to do, I hit you, but I pull you towards me. I keep saying this, like, give them the Scorpion move. That would make Thancred viable, because if you want him to be a bruiser tank, then don't you want the enemy healer to be drawn to you? Now the enemy healer is within kill range of your attackers. Or have the ability to push a unit across the screen. Like, here's my suggestion. If you get Thancred like a super move, not like an ultimate move, but like just a badass gauge building move, and he hits you with his gunblade, and he knocks you so far away that essentially it gets rid of the hate, right? So it doesn't matter how much hate that unit that you're targeting has, it's gonna knock him across the screen all the way to the other side of the edge. Therefore, you're essentially removing that tank out of combat. Then I think that will make him super viable, but he's the only unit that has that move. I think that's what they need to start doing in terms of design. Like, give units something that's so unique to that unit, then it makes you want to use that unit. Like, What's the actual difference between using all these different units? Like, Luartha can hit you really, really hard, right? Like, think about it. Luartha is a fire unit that can kill you if your ice unit, generally speaking, will one hit. But one can argue that Raldor can do the same. And then Lucia essentially can kill a lot of earth units with one skill. So let's think about this. What is the difference of me building Luartha versus Lucia? None. Because they're just different elements. And that was the reason why I wasn't really attracted to Luartha. I was looking at her skill set. I was like, wait, aren't these two units essentially the same? I mean, come on. Luartha is essentially the same as Lucia. The only difference is the element. So is this game was resorting to that essentially I'm spending tons of money, tons of resources to build units that is exactly the same cookie cutter build across all the elements? Then what is the fun in that? Why am I doing this? Why am I summoning units that are essentially just trying to cater to the elements? I don't want that. I want unique builds. I want unique characters. I want unique skills, right? I want uniqueness. Like, for example, Yuna is somewhat unique because she can cast re-raise. No other character can cast that. You have to get a TMR to do that, but she can do that, right? And then some units can remove courage. That's pretty unique ability. I'm talking about those type of things. Let's start brainstorming here. There's so many unique skills you can put into this type of game. It's a strategy game. Why am I just playing with cookie cutter units? I need to be playing with unique builds. If you're gonna give me, say, Garland, and he has this crazy ass move that is a guaranteed hit that hits the entire screen. Let's bear with me here. He has a move that once he builds the gauge, he hits the entire screen. Nothing can dodge it. Nothing. No evasion, no perfect dodge, no perfect evasion, nothing. Boom, it hits everybody. But it doesn't do enough damage, right? It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can cause status ailments. So essentially, he'll be like a boss mode unit. He's kind of like the, what is that? Marlboro. He's like a Marlboro, right? Boom, this is his move. You're gonna get affected by status ailments potentially. And the status ailments perhaps can avoid faith. So yes, is it OP? No, it's not OP because what happens is you can still nullify that with specific builds towards him. So let's say he casts Doom to everybody. If you now that stupid ass passive on like a bunch of my supporting units can be actually viable now. I actually have to put that as one of my slot for nullifying Doom. Now Garland cannot doom my Ayaka, or Garland cannot doom my Grace. But can you imagine that? Like, if you're not prepared to fight Garland, he'll just doom your whole team. Boom. You can't dodge it, you can't nothing. Boom, you're hit by it. That's what make like the game actually more exciting, because now you have to start thinking crazily to try to combat some of these special skills. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you guys get where I'm going? Instead of just every single week give me another element of something that already exists. Okay, so you gave me a dark as arithmetician. What does that bring to the table? Besides the fact that she's thick thigh queen and that she's sexy as hell looking. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll summon for her. Sure, I want to spend some cash. I want to get her on my team and enjoy looking at her. But realistically speaking, what is she bringing that's unique? Is she going to bring something that's going to... Well, actually, you know what? She does bring, I think, a few skills that we haven't seen, but I want to see more, man. I want to see them go outside of the box and start creating wacky skill sets. Then that's going to, I think, set the people apart in terms of how they're going to build their unique combat situations. There you go. That's a great idea, Christopher. I think that's a great idea. Imagine she can ride the Terras. Yes, Final Fantasy VI, right? Shout out to Final Fantasy VI. I think it was a scholar in Final Fantasy Advance 2. Elementus went in a different direction. Well, I'm definitely spewing stuff out of my butt, kind of, in a way, but I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to open up a door that can bring in more to this game instead of just cookie cuttering. It's I understand it's much easier for the company to keep doing what they're doing. They're gonna make tons of money no matter what I say, right? They're gonna keep doing it. But if you start bringing more interesting mechanics and not make them overpowerful, but make them interesting enough that you're willing to spend your resources on, I think that opens the game up better. Combat situations come with the vision card buffs to spend more. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're adding skill sets to vision cards, which to me is a bit iffy. You know, I don't enjoy that, to be honest. Because in the long scheme of things, it just seems like it's just you're just piling on the mud, you know. And in my opinion, that's probably not the best way to approach a strategy game. But then again, if you think about it, there's not much difference between a unit that has a unique skill compared to a vision card that has a unique skill. The only difference is the vision card is cheaper. You can get the vision card and pair that vision card up with, say, one of your unit that you really enjoy, and then you're still good to go. If you essentially have to build a whole new unit, at this point in time, EX Job 25 is a kind of a pain in the ass, right, overall. So if you were to go specifically for a unit for that skill set, that might also be overwhelming. So yes, that is definitely a negative side to all that. But to be fair though, Garland is supposed to be a boss, right? If they release, what's the guy's name? Mujaka, whatever his name is, the boss of this game, they better give him something unique. I don't want just him to be another berserker. He's just like the badass version of Durando. I mean, that doesn't seem appealing to me. I want skill chaining. Give us a reason to keep more of our skills. Yes. I think giving us the ability to use more skills probably make more sense in terms of match play, right? That seems pretty. I'm leaving on the next. I'm leaving on the next? Okay. Moraga, yes. It is. Moraga is essentially just a buff version of Durando. Alright, Alpha. Take care, man. Happy New Year. But anyways, I think tonight was very fruitful. You guys think that was pretty fruitful, right? And I want to thank everybody for coming. I think I honestly didn't even want to stream for long. I only wanted to stream for an hour. But I think we have so many good topics that came on tonight. And obviously, Cabbage is here, so that's always a welcoming sight. And then, of course, there's a lot of names that I don't recognize. So I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me tonight. So again, most likely there's nothing going on tomorrow. And nothing going on, obviously, on Sunday. Going forward in the future, I try to maintain the same schedule, Monday through Friday only, if possible. All the days that I work, I usually work on weekends, so I don't want to. Sorry, that's a truck. I don't want to have that extra, kind of pressure or stress to having to worry about content and then, think about work and stuff. I know that sounds like I'm being lazy, but I'm really not, right? I want to try to keep this as a hobby instead of as a job. So I think I'm going to cut it off here in like a few minutes. But like I said, I can't thank the community enough for the support. And I think there's a lot of faith in people having with me about what I do. And I'm not going to lie, there have been a few moments where I feel a little discouraged. But like anything in life, you got to keep the grind going. And I think you have to be diligent. And just like this game is indicating, we have to be persistent. We have to be patient, and ultimately, as long as I do what I want to do, I don't want people to convince me to do something. I want to convince others what I'm doing. And that's the goal of this channel. I want to convince people what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be the other way around. Like, what I'm saying is not about suggestions. What I'm saying is about the direction I want to take my stuff. If I want to do something, it's because this is what I want to do. Not because I feel like everyone else is doing it. In terms of like news, obviously everyone's doing it, but I want to give you my opinion on it. And I think that's the whole reason why people create content, to give them your opinions, right? That's what it is. And I just want to make sure that I do it right, though. I always want to make sure I do it right. If I don't know something, I really wish I don't do anything about it. There's a possibility I just may do like short videos in the future, or maybe use the community and just like, here's a little excerpt of my ideas. Because I have a lot of ideas brewing in my head all day long. Like all day long, my head is running. And sometimes it's very hard for me to translate that onto a presentation of sorts through YouTube. And I have to be honest, I haven't been lazy. I haven't really been looking into DaVinci Resolve. I need to really work on that. I think DaVinci Resolve can really kind of make my presentation a little bit more, I don't know, more professional, I guess. It's just that my video editor is very easy to use. I can do a video in like an hour. I think DaVinci Resolve takes a little bit more dedication to really, like, you know. I know I often think about if I should just present one video every few days, but put a lot of effort in making that video super entertaining, super presentful, like very nice presentation, rather than banging out these like baby videos kind of thing every daily, you know. So anyways, I'm gonna keep it as a hobby, and I think that's the way to do it. You know, I don't want to like put more extra pressure on myself. I appreciate everybody coming. This is the last run. Happy New Year to everybody. Make sure you spend your time wisely, because this is your #1 resource. And take care of yourselves. Make sure you guys have a safe weekend. And so I will see you guys most likely on Monday on whatever the news they're gonna bring us. Hopefully it's something interesting, right? So, all right, guys. Thanks everybody. Thanks everybody. You guys have a good night. And it is time to shut it off. Hanson, Happy New Year. Welcome to the stream. Well, unfortunately, it's the end of the stream, so. All right.